I got to get my new Ghee in.
You'll get it.
I hope.
If not, just wear your old one and you'll be fine.
My old one the pants don't fit.
Just go. Just Winnie
We're
the
under
Pooh.
my boxers.
Winnie the Pooh it.
Yeah.
Going all toddler dicking.
Just Winnie the Pooh it. You'll be fine.
And I just hope the one I'm ordering that you're sending me is a whole lot fucking lighter than that other.
It is. It's a lightweight one. You'll love it.
The jacket weighs 50 pounds. It's like wearing a bulletproof vest.
Wait till it gets all sweaty.
Oh.
You add another couple pounds of salty.
I opened the package up, and I was like, God, I guess it was heavy. And I got it, I was like, son of a bitch. What the hell?
The second I get home, all the geese go in the washing machine.
Just because they stink.
I don't want them shower. I don't want to be the stinky guy.
Well, you can use your one that doesn't fit right for snow boots.
Do what?
You can use it if it snows.
Yeah. And still does good laundry. I'll smell good.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Dive Bomb Industries. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
July. Squad Fest. Be there. We'll be there. Hope to see you there. New headquarters for Dive Bomb.
Be a good time. That's always a good time. That's our guy trip.
Yeah.
No women are allowed. Just guys. It's a good time.
Jeff's gonna be looking for a fight. He'll have like a month's worth of jiu-jitsu in his belt, and he'll just like be sizing everybody up. Like, I bet I can take that pussy.
We've been talking off air about this.
We were rolling.
Oh, we were? Oh, okay. Well, then everybody knows then.
Yeah.
I got
Sweaty geese.
I got
Geese.
I got a
Toddler
Ghee
dick.
it's heavy. You lose 7 pounds to fucking a day just wearing that sucker around.
Maybe that's the key. It's not the jiu-jitsu itself. Y'all are just wearing sweat bags.
I told Jeff to make sure he ties his belt a couple times at home, because you got like everybody in the room and like you're tying your belt and you're like, what the fuck do I do with this? Everybody's like,
It's obvious I'm going to be the new guy. Everybody's going to know.
everybody's like, I want to roll with him.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. Maybe they'll feel bad for you or something.
No, not a chance.
I'm telling you, that's been the biggest deterrent for me. It's like, man, I know everybody there.
If you're strong and big, strong guy, you'd be great at it.
I'd probably tear a rotator cuff day one or something stupid.
I got something screwed up in my shoulder.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm going to have to wrestle your uncle.
Oh, Clint?
Clint's strong
Is
as
he still
ox.
going a lot?
He goes intermittently.
Yeah.
He'll be real consistent, and then he'll be real inconsistent. But like every time he shows up, he's still just as strong.
Yeah.
And he never seems like he gets tired.
Yeah, that's part of the Lewis lineage. We've got a little bit of retard strength. So.
Yeah.
He's strong as ox.
Logan says like he's one of the strongest people he goes against.
Really?
Just
Well,
natural.
I think Clint's an inch or two taller than I am, too. He's a little...
He's a big man.
He's got more leverage.
lifting all those engines up his whole life.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe. I think he's been getting those other guys.
He's strong and stout, and he talks a lot of shit. And so he's got to be talking as much crap as he does about people. Yeah. I mean, he says it in front of their face.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a filter.
No filter at all. And so the shit he says sometimes,
Oh, Uncle Clint.
Man.
He's still not scared to go fast either. He took me for a ride in his Corvette the other day. It was
really?
quite brisk. He was actually trying to get me to buy it from him, but
Look how fast it can go.
What are you going to do with a Corvette? Your wife would kill you.
that's what I told him. I was like, I know I would probably kill myself, or I would just get it taken away by the police. Because it's a Z06, so it's supercharged and all of that. I mean,
I just can't imagine having a $3,000 a month car payment.
No, I don't want that. I gotta get a.
Your wife would not be happy with you, would she?
No, she's already told me I can't buy anything else until I have a place. I don't like. I've got all this shit. Like I'd always wanted a boat, so I saved up my money and bought a used one. That way I could just pay for it and not have a payment. And then I've got the Camaro from high school that I don't know if we're ever going to finish rebuilding. But during COVID, I decided we could completely restore it real quick. Real quick. And then I'd always wanted a 70 Charger, so I got one of those. And they're all just shoved in other people's spots. And yeah, she's like, you can't buy shit else till you build a shop. And I've recently priced a shop, and it's
There's nothing cheap out there.
No.
And
you could get a Corvette or a shop. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And you have a watch collection.
Oh.
That's always fun to grow.
No, I've got to stop on that shit.
So what did so you didn't want to buy the Corvette?
No, I had no
drive it?
interest.
Did you drive it or ride
He wanted me to drive it, and I knew better than that.
That's the sucker deal right
Yes,
there. That's
and
like the wands at Harry Potter. No.
Yes, and he said, at least let me take you. And I was like, I'll do that. I can go for a ride, but if I feel it, I'm going to want it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, hey, do you want to try some meth? And like, no. You want to watch me do it? It's like, I guess I'll watch that. I'd be more likely to watch someone do it than do it myself.
That's a weird analogy, but yeah, the meth deal. I've never even watched anybody do meth.
I haven't either, but it must feel good because they watch their teeth fall out and keep going back for more.
Sell their kids.
Yeah,
it's an amazing drug. It has to be.
It has to be. It's a bad deal though.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I always ask people that. I'm like, why would you try that?
I know.
You know that the answer.
Yeah, there's walking and bike riding examples throughout all the communities.
If you see a grown man on a Huffy,
100%.
He ain't for exercise. That some bitch is on meth.
100%. And you can tell by how they're riding that Huffy what point of the day they're in. If they're standing up with headphones on singing to the skies, it's a good day.
I saw like a TikTok video. It was like from Skid Row, and all of them, they've all got like this slump that they do, like where they lean back like they're possessed or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
All doing. I'll see if I can find it.
They're hitting it hard.
I go to a barber shop about once a month, and I get my head completely shaved, and they trim up everything. I go.
You got a nice Florida tan on the top.
I do now, and I should have it the rest of the summer now. Yeah. So I go in there all the time. Well, there's a guy that works in there, and he reminds me of Ed that worked here.
Oh yeah,
and Ed had some substance abuse problems, and I knew this guy. You know,
you
either jaw the way they're erotic about just something about him.
And it's even if they've been off it for a long time.
And this guy here's is clean now, but so I always talk to him, and I like to talk to people, and I'm getting his story, and he was telling me that he had a sugar mama, and he was telling me all about it. It was interesting.
I need one of those.
All the people in there listening are like, they're wanting to listen. Well, I'm asking the questions. I want to talk to him. So, anyways, but he's an old user, you can tell.
Yeah,
he still got the shakes every once in a while. That somebody ain't touching my head.
He might have a little look like maybe you could etch in a design or something.
Well, it's not like he's gonna mess my hair up. I just want him cutting it. Yeah. They got a razor on my head.
Don't want to walk out with blood running down.
No, I get the straight razor deal on the top.
Oh,
I love it. I love that.
You do?
I have her do it once a month. She does.
You don't get ingrown hairs or anything from it?
I'd be scared to death. I'd be scared to death if I was a barber. The first time you got that straight razor, you got shave somebody's neck.
No, I get shaving everything. I love a hot. Have you ever had a shave?
Yeah.
I love it, man. Those hot towels and stuff.
Yes.
You never had one?
No.
There's one awesome. In Abilene. It's a barbershop, but it's all women.
That's one I go to.
Yeah. And they do a great job.
They do a great job. I've been to one. There's one in Lubbock, too, that I like. That's over by the university. I've gone to it a couple times, too.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with pampering yourself a little bit.
I love it.
It's a hell of a lot cheaper than what women spend.
Well, I go with Michelle. It started because this place is next door to where Michelle goes. So Michelle goes and gets her toes painted.
And then you can go do that.
Oh, no, I get my feet done, too.
Oh.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. Anybody that makes fun if someone has a pedicure has never had a pedicure.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one?
No.
Oh, it's freaking awesome.
But I will say, I've got soft feet. I'm lucky.
You will love it. It is absolutely, I'm telling you right now.
Those guys amazing. Are handsome that do it, or what?
I wouldn't let a guy touch it. We were there one time, and I looked up, and it was guys all lined up, and these women are getting their pedicures done. I said, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
Michelle goes, Jeff, what are you going to do? I said, I'm not doing it. So the little guy comes over to me. Oh, hi, Jeff. How are you? They talk. Oh, good to see you again. Something to drink, a Coke. I said, hey, listen. I said, I'm not letting one of them guys touch my feet. Oh, I know how you are. I know. I got you to take care of. Lady come out. I'm not doing it. I'm not. Michelle goes, well, the women do me. Listen, being a lesbian's cool.
Yeah, it's a whole different category.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hold it on you against you for a woman doing it, but I said, trust me, I'm not doing it. And then second of all, you take a picture and think it's freaking funny, anyways.
Well, and women don't get it, but from a man's standpoint, you're allowing another man to make you feel good, no matter how you break it down.
Ain't happening. I don't give a shit if it's rainbow month or not. That shit ain't happening. There's no way in hell. And have you noticed there's not been a lot of rainbow shit going on?
No, it is. And I'm glad. So, and what I think is going to happen is, honestly, it's probably, they always talk about how the pendulum swings. It's going to overcorrect.
Yeah, 100%.
But because this stuff kind of all started when we were kids. That was when the gay marriage rights was a topic, and that kind of went through, and then it was being more acceptance. Or no, I'm sorry. It was all about tolerance. That's what it was when we were younger. And then that quickly morphed into acceptance. And then that morphed into you have to have parades and praise it. And we're like, look, we don't give a shit what you do. But God Almighty, don't make us have a celebration for it.
Yeah.
If it's something that we disagree with or just don't want anything to do with, just do your thing.
I went to a gay parade once.
They were probably having a blast.
It was
But you won't let a man touch your feet.
no. It was a St. Patrick's Day parade on Greenville Avenue in Dallas.
Were you the one in the thong?
No.
Oh, okay.
just the green hair. But it was basically, it turned to the first gay parade, probably is what it was. There was a lot of that going on there, but it was just a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what someone sleeps with. I don't care
I
who
don't
you sleep
either.
with. Don't bother me at all, but don't throw the shit out. I don't want to hear about it all the time.
And leave the kids out of it.
Yeah, and we don't, I mean, if you bang your old lady, you don't go around telling everybody about the shit.
Exactly.
And you're not going to make a shirt on it. And I slept with my wife last night. Well, good for you. You know?
Disney was gearing up for their Pride Month when we were there because we were there the last week of May. So, everything just goes in. But you saw like the stickers like, oh,
Is this the month?
yeah, it's
June.
June.
Oh, man, we better change all our logos.
Yeah, that's right.
There hadn't been none of that going on this year, though. But I'm going to tell you about Disney. That is the blue-haired, bitter lesbian capital of the world.
I told him you can always tell the foreigners because they don't get out of your fucking way.
And they don't say, excuse me.
I was pushing that double wide stroller full of all our shit.
Oh,
and
yeah,
my
he was texting me
6-year-old.
that.
And like I'm trying to navigate in between people, and they just walk right past you like you're like, you not see this? Mm-hmm. Like you're by yourself. You can't scoot over 3 feet.
They don't care.
No.
So finally, I hit I hit several ankles with it. I'm like, get the fuck out of the way. You saw me coming. You can move your foot.
Was Andy salty by the end?
I never lost
Andy
my
was
temper.
none at all. There was nobody in our group.
Just some
Jeff and
internal frustrations?
Yeah, Jeff and Tony were the only ones that complained.
What did I complain about?
Walking and it being hot.
I didn't complain. I just pointed out the obvious. Fucking Africa hot. And
And humid.
I didn't bitch that much about walking. I walked. I
voiced
pushed
your
the grandkids.
frustrations.
Well, you're 57 fucking years old and you're at Disney World. Yeah, you're going to be fucking frustrated.
And
I'm telling
you're
right
wanting
now.
to do 10,000 steps a day, not 10 million.
Yeah, 24,000 one day.
Really?
Yeah.
I had an extra 4,000 just going to get the cart.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody else
gosh.
was right around that 25,000. Mine was at 28,000 that day.
Just from that.
Just
Just from that
cart.
little extra walk of having to go around the corner to get the cart and then bring it back around.
We tried to not get a cart. We got one real fucking
Oh,
quick.
bullshit. We got that. And then one day, I'm pushing Dylan and Reese's fat asses around. They're 11, 10 years old, and they're both in the cart, and I'm pushing them. And then they're like, oh, I'm not tired today. Well, hell no, you're not. Someone
Yeah.
else is you got 10-year-old legs. You shouldn't be tired anyways.
No, those heal like that.
Yeah.
They just need an hour recoup time.
Yeah.
And they're back at fresh.
And Reese asked me one day, he goes, why are you so tired? I said, I'm 57 years old. We're on day 23
Yeah.
of this expedition. Reese, I'm wore out.
That was whenever we found out how long y'all were going. It was like, oh my God, they're going to be exhausted when they get home.
We split it up nice. We did 2 days at Disney. We had a rest day. Well, first day we were there was a rest day, which was good because you don't want to go from traveling all day straight to that hellhole. So we had a rest day there, 2 days at Disney, rest, and then we had the 3 days at Universal. By that third day, though, that 3-day stretch,
We were
rough
done.
one.
Yeah, but at least you had a nice guy sitting next to you on the way home that wouldn't let you sleep.
What happened?
That old man that was sitting next to me. Sit down. I've got the Universal
Oh,
sign
yeah.
of "Don't fuck with me." I've
Yeah.
got my earpod. I got my
He was a
AirPods
talker
on,
too. I laughed.
and I was sitting there. I don't want to be messed with. And he nudges me. Where are you going? Same fucking place you are. It's a one-way ticket. They're not dropping.
They're gonna stop halfway up to kick me off.
They're
in
not
New
dropping
Orleans.
people off.
Got my chute up there.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Same fuck. I'm gonna get off same stop you are. Where are you from? Knox City. Never heard of it.
I know.
I know. Get that a lot. What do you do there? Oh God. So then,
You were polite because I could hear you.
so then he finally nods off. He's like, I hadn't flown in 5 years. Ever since COVID, I hadn't flown. Like, well, obviously AirPods weren't around because you don't know the etiquette that when people have the AirPods in, they don't want to be messed with. Obviously, there's a loss somewhere. So he finally nods off. He tuckered himself out. He was Biden's age. He was old, so he slept. And I watched Saving Private Ryan, and I saw him stirring, and I saw him like looking over my shoulder at what I was watching, which pisses me off when people are looking at my phone, no matter what I'm doing. And we land, and I take the AirPods out. What movie are you watching? Saving Private Ryan. Oh, yeah. I got that on VHS at home. I hadn't seen that in forever. Yeah. Well, it's a good show. Yeah. I really like it.
Where
And
was
then-
he from?
Didn't ask.
You didn't ask me. That's rude.
No. The one-sided conversation.
Dude, that's how I am. Somebody will tell me a story about something. It could be somebody got sick, somebody hurt themselves, whatever. And I'll try to tell Kay, like, oh, so-and-so broke their arm. How? What'd they do? Like, I didn't ask.
Just got
if they wanted me to know, they'd have told me.
That's a good point too, though.
Yeah. It's like, tell me more. Like, I just don't.
No.
Maybe I'm an asshole. I don't know.
Y'all got the better ride though, because Dylan and Reese sat behind us as me, Michelle, and Jameson, and then behind us it was Dylan and Reese, and they had fucking Gandhi sit with them, and he did not know how to use earphones,
Oh, God.
but he listened to his phone
On the
So-
speaker?
Yeah.
So it started out. Michelle goes, Reese, is that you and Dylan's phone that's loud? Y'all need to make sure you got your headphones on. And I'm like, hey, y'all need. She's like, it's not them. It's them. Okay. I said, y'all need to turn it on. So then I done it a couple of times. Then Jesse said, hey, Reese, you put your headphones on. That's rude. Everybody can hear your stuff. And poor Reese is like,
What am I doing
I
wrong?
can hear 'em. Everybody's keeping waving at me so I can hear them. I've got my headphones on. And then every time he'd turn his phone down. About 30 minutes into flight, I hear that shit going again. I said, fuck it. I'm running. I'd reach around and say, hey, I said, turn that shit off.
To the guy?
Yeah. I said, turn that shit off. I go, you're on a flight. Turn it off. It's rude.
Really? It was a done deal?
Never got it out again. I thought, how hard is that to
Oh, I know. But I mean, that's the same type of people that walk through Walmart or walk through any store with their shit on FaceTime or speakerphone for the whole world to hear it. And God forbid you say something to them and they're, what are you doing listening to my conversation? It's like, maybe don't broadcast it over the fucking PA system.
It's on speaker, buddy.
Yeah.
And then it rained one day at Universal, so we're all having to go get a bus to get back to the parking.
Rain is an understatement.
We were 3 minutes.
Monsoon.
We were 3 minutes away from making the first bus. Well, we didn't make that bus. It was pulling off as we were walking up. So we had to wait another 30 minutes. Well, more people start collecting, and more people start going to where we're going. And we've been there since the last bus left. Like, we should be first on this next bus.
Yeah.
And then everybody just starts crowding you whenever they see, oh, this is going so-and-so. So Tony, one guy he's like got his girlfriend's hand and like they're trying to cut us. And
With a bunch of kids too.
Tony fucking like body checks him in the door.
Like, you are not going.
No, you are not cutting in front of us. He's like, get the fuck off me, man. Tony's like, fuck that shit.
Oh, he was ready to go.
Tony wasn't. Yeah.
Of course.
That guy didn't want none of that.
Dude,
Tony's old, but the guy did not want.
Speaking of bus rides, Disney World. So when we went, it was 2022. So COVID's still on everybody's minds, and there were some places that were a little weird, but you didn't have to wear masks anywhere or anything like that. This is the last day, and we made the mistake of staying at one of the resort hotels. Very, very expensive. They make it sound like the food's all great. It's all just shit concession food, and it's overpriced. The only thing the kids would eat the whole time was pizza. So Langley's going on 3 days of eating pizza, and when she gets up early in the morning, she always has kind of an upset stomach. We're up super early, hauling ass trying to get to the shuttle to take us to the airport before it leaves, because I think our plane left at 6, so it was early in the morning.
God.
We're running there, get halfway, I'm like, come on, the bus is already there, it's gonna leave. Langley starts puking.
Oh.
And I'm like, great. So we get to the bus, and I think she puked twice, and I take off running, hauling all of our shit, strollers, all this crap.
God, the one man on a trip like that.
Oh, it was terrible. Running my ass off, and the bus had just closed the door, let the air brakes off, and put it in drive. And I'm waving, and they're like, I was wondering if you'd make it. And I was like, they're coming. And of course, half the bus is still wearing masks.
Right.
We get loaded on there. We make it maybe 5 minutes down the road, head to the airport, and Langley's like, and all I can do is hold my hands out like that. And we're trying to not make it a big deal.
Yeah.
Hot stomach acid, pizza, pepperoni, greasy throw up. And everybody's wearing masks. And here's my kid throwing up. And then finally Caitlin gets up and gets her to the bus bathroom. And yeah, that was, and then, but I just sat there the whole bus ride like, God, please let this stop before we get to the airport.
Yeah.
Please, I cannot do a plane ride of this shit.
They might not even let you on the plane.
They might not, but miraculously, you get to the airport, all good. But yeah, that was, I guess everybody has to have a shitty bus story or something happen.
I'm a group puker. So if she's throwing up,
Oh, you're going to do it?
Oh, yeah.
that wouldn't have been good.
Especially if I see somebody throwing up in somebody's hand.
Oh, God, I'm going. That's it for me.
I'm like, I don't know.
What do I do with this now?
Have you ever seen the Porky shows.
Oh, wait, what?
Porky's.
Like the movies?
Yeah.
The old, yeah.
Have you ever seen the second or third one when they go to the restaurant?
No, I don't think so.
And I don't know why they're playing a trick on it, but it's pretty funny. I wish I would have done this when I was younger. This is great. They take a can of clam chowder, and they take the lid off of it, and you can't see it. And the guy's like, ooh, and he goes, bleh, and he pours the can out on the table of like a table in the middle of like a Red Lobster dinner or something.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, ooh, and then another guy comes up with a fork and grabs a bite of it and takes a bite and goes, oh, it's not bad. And more people, bleh.
That would set it off.
Oh, God, that would do it to everybody.
Chain reaction right there.
I've always thought, man, I wish I'd have done that. That would have been funny to do.
God. I don't know. That would get me. Somebody come up and start eating it.
The best thing that we did on this trip was, we had a couple of things. Jessie done a great job of being a tour guide for us. She had this thing planned out to a T.
When you plan for 9 months, it's easy.
The only thing I didn't like is yeah, she's really good at that, isn't she?
9 months of planning.
And we ate dinner one night at a place on one of the Disney properties. It was the most overpriced restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
Was it where they're like wearing the characters are like in kind of safari clothes?
No, we went and had breakfast one time, and it wasn't bad. The breakfast wasn't. It was break. I mean, it wasn't bad at all. No, we went to some fancy schmancy restaurant at some resort, and me and Andy both had prime rib.
Oh,
And it was kids' prime rib. Had to be.
Was it tiny?
Quarter-inch thick, maybe, and mine was half fat. It was just wasn't good and I'm not a big prime rib eater, but I ate it at McBride's the other day in Wichita, and it was good.
Oh, so it was on your mind.
Yeah, so I thought that sounds pretty good, prime rib. Jesus, they brought out the kids' steaks, and it was breakfast steaks, for the kids' steaks. And I'm thinking, oh, I got kids' steaks, and I see mine. I think, well, I guess we're getting kids' prime rib too.
Like going to Golden Corral or something.
That was my only thing I didn't like about the whole trip.
And you lost your Amex.
I lost my Amex.
So now you got to change all that shit.
And I lost Michelle's driver's license, so we had to go through hell to get her on the airplane.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and usually I take our passports and I stick it in my bag, and I did not do it this time. So I lost my Amex and her driver's license the last night.
Because they just started all that new real ID requirement shit, didn't they?
And we have the real ID.
But if you don't have a license.
But we didn't have a license. So I called American Airlines. Like at 10:30 at night, Michelle goes, I can't find my license.
Oh, God.
She goes, I think you must have thrown it out. I said, so how's it my fault all of a sudden? I'm going to keep up with your shit the whole weekend. Now it's my fault.
Hold on. No, that's unfair to her. You offered to carry her ID.
So she wouldn't lose it.
You said, hey.
That worked out.
You might want to have a drink at the resort or whatever, so I'll put your ID. You've got those poncho shirts that have a zipper.
And,
you were
I do love these.
I'll just throw it in there and it'll be fine. You offered. She didn't say, hey, hold on to my ID for the weekend. That was your idea.
Hold on now. That's true, 90%. But Michelle's got her driver's license, goes in this damn, like a wallet type deal. It takes her 15 minutes to get it out all the time.
Oh.
I'm like, just let me carry it to be a lot. I was thinking of just speeding things along. But it bit me in my ass on the deal because somehow I lost it.
So they must have been in the same spot.
Well,
Yes.
no, what happened was
Connected.
We went and ate the last night we were there at a restaurant, and the guy brung out our food. My phone was on the table, and Dylan's phone was on the table. And I took both of them and put them in my pocket.
Oh.
I paid with my American Express. And then when we got to the gas station, I was going to fill up the truck. And I got out my Amex and it was gone. But I remember I gave her, she goes, where's my phone? And I pulled out my phone.
And it probably
I bet
flopped.
Amex, and her driver's license, I think, was with it, and it was gone. So anyways, so I lose Michelle's deal. So that night, but she don't realize it until 10:30 at night. So I get on the phone with American Airlines. I'm like, listen, you got our priority number. And the lady tells me, she goes, it won't be a problem, sir. You just flew in 7 days ago. We've got everything. You'll be fine. So I called back to Texas. And I got the sheriff to send me the picture off CopSync, which is Michelle's driver's license, take a picture of it and send it to me. And I gave it to Michelle. I said, and so she had to go through TSA, and it was about 30 minutes extra.
Oh, God.
But I was concerned they weren't going to let us fly because there's no guarantee they're going to let us.
No.
So I'm thinking, shit, we're going to have to drive to, it's 19 and a half hours from Orlando. Drive.
Like you were already planning on an alternative.
I always do that when we go somewhere, just in case something happens where we can get out of here if we need to.
Especially doing shit, not so much in Florida, but, if you fly somewhere at certain times of year, you always have a risk of being snowed in or ice storm or anything like that.
Yeah, we're going to Boss next week. Me and Michelle are to Michigan, and I land at 10:30 at night. So I was thinking the other day, shit, is there going to be a car rental place going to still be open for me? because that's something you got to worry about.
Yeah.
Because they close at weird hours
Yeah.
and shit.
We did that in Puerto Rico a couple years ago. We all flew to Puerto Rico as a family, landed 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Language barrier. They speak Spanish, we speak English. Or, a lot of them do. So the driver that we had did not speak any English. So we were telling them where we needed to go. She took us like down in the barrio and was like, there. And we're like, there's no lights on. That's not the place. Like that's where your uncle lives. We're not going there.
It was so bad that I called the Hilton Hotel there in San Juan and was looking at getting a room for us for the night because it's midnight. Just take us there.
Yeah.
And then we'll get up in the morning and go get our deal. But we had reservations to go in a cave, raft in a cave or something on the other side of Puerto Rico or an hour or so away.
Yeah.
But so finally, no, we're calling, trying to figure out where the hell we are, where the hell this place is. We're calling. Nobody's answering. We're like, great, they're closed for the night. Perfect. We got one thing we didn't look at was what time the place closed. Finally, somebody answered. They were backlogged with people that were there, and they told us, "Oh no, that's the old place. We've moved there. You need to do this." So finally, we figured it out, but it was dicey there. Had it just been me, Jesse, and the boys, I'd have really been freaking out. But I knew I had Jeff to.
So
Schmoosh things
future
over.
black belt.
Yeah.
So but the things that Jesse did that I really liked was Jesse got online. If you're going to Universal, this is a great thing. Universal's fast passes are expensive, like $500 a day
Holy shit.
per person.
But are they worth it?
Well, not for $500 per person, they're not. But if you're going to go to Disney or you're going to go to Universal,
It's really that much?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're going to save money to go there, and you think, you know what, we're going to save money for 3 years and take the kids to Disney or Universal. Save for 4.5 or 5 years and go do that with the fast passes because you get to enjoy the park. But Jessie found this deal that because we bought Disney fast passes weren't that much. She rented she got 2 rooms at a Universal resort. With those 2 rooms, we got 9 fast passes for 2 days. It's $1,800 for the 2 rooms.
But way cheaper.
$3,000 or $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 cheaper.
It's $500 per person per day?
Yep.
Jesus.
It might be 3.
But
300.
still, you roll in I've got a family of 5.
There were 9 of us, so $2,700 a day.
So it would have cost us. And I think
Did y'all even use the
more
room?
expensive than that. No, we never even seen the room.
Wonder how many people do that.
Probably a lot.
A lot
like,
because they knew.
they're like, "Can we help you with your luggage?" We're like, "Oh, not right now.
Well, the guy asked me.
We're ready to get to the park. We'll just leave it in the car."
Guy asked me when he was because we valet parked, and that's another thing too, man. If you go to Universal Valet Park, man, it saves you a lot of walking, and
And you already got to walk plenty.
way to go. So, anyways, we valet parked, and the guy asked me. He goes, "Are y'all here just getting the passes?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay."
You told him?
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. He knew.
They got their money.
As long as he got his $50 tip for parking at Sunday, he didn't give 2 shits what we were doing.
I wonder how many times the housekeeping walks into a room like, "Oh, here's another one."
Good
I
day.
bet a bunch.
Good day for me. Sitting
I'm
and
just
watch
gonna
TV.
Yeah, sitting here for 20 minutes
they
with the
don't
door
know.
locked.
But that was the smartest thing we did. So we got 2 days of fast passes there. Well, that we would go to the park. We rode every ride at every park, just about.
Yeah.
Every ride, every place we went, we got to do everything we wanted to do. Andy knew somebody that was there, and they rode, or Tony did,
3 rides.
3 rides the whole day. They stood in line the whole time.
Oh, because they didn't have the
They
pass.
didn't
So,
have fast passes.
There was
so you're
lines.
damned if you don't, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to spend that kind of money to go, you might as well spend and pay double and be able to ride the stuff your
Yeah.
kids want to go to. There was a lot. The Hagrid ride was 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So first,
How good were the fast passes though? Like
5, 10
At Disney,
minutes.
they were really, really good. You just maybe 10 minutes you stood in line. Universal, you waited just a little bit longer.
We never stayed more than 20 minutes ever, I don't think.
No. But I just mean like at Disney. Like
at Disney, did you have to schedule it?
Yes.
We had
Okay.
we paid for a service. That's another thing Jessie did.
That's right.
And
I think she told Caitlin about
She'd
that.
be on the phone, and she'd everything mapped out. We got to go do this and that. And that's one reason we got a lot more miles in there, because we went from here to there to here to there to there. When we got to Universal, then you could just go wherever you wanted to go with your fast
Gotcha.
pass.
Because you didn't have to schedule a time at Universal. It was see ride,
It's like
fast
Six
pass,
Flags fast
and go.
pass.
Right.
You used a door key, so we had 9 keys to our hotel our room.
Oh, and it just scans?
And you scan, it's got a little barcode on it, you scan it. And that's the way we would do it. But when we got to Universal, the day 3, the new Epic opened, which is their brand new park. We didn't have express passes for it. We only had it for the first 2 days. But we'd had some bad experiences And then I made the experiences worse when I told the story. So they gave us 27 fast passes for that day to use however we wanted to. So there was 9 of us. And we picked and choose the big rides we wanted to ride, used express passes on it, and then I think there was 2 left. And Reese and Dylan did another roller coaster they wanted to ride again. But like one time we were going to use them, it's like 20-minute wait. Well, we just went through the regular line.
Yeah.
But we went to one ride. Andy and them waited on Hagrid. Me and Jameson weren't going to do Hagrid. So me and Jameson went to do something else, and they stood in line for like an hour and a half, and then people got stuck on the car.
Oh, God.
And they had to shut it down. And then we were going to ride the rapid, or this big roller coaster at one of the other Universal deals, and they waited in line, and then it had mechanical failure. Then they had a storm deal. And then Kong did the same thing. So I tell these people this story. And I'm like, we waited for 2.5 hours for a bus the other day, and some guy tried to beat my poor little brother up. And
poor widow Tony.
Yeah.
Tiny Tony.
and then I called the bullshit. I said, talk to a lady yesterday at the other Universal, and she told me just to let you know and y'all take care of us. I never talked to nobody.
So they gave it, you had like 27 uses.
They gave us 27 paper deals that you just gave to the people.
And then
3 rides a person, basically.
Yeah. Yep. Or if y'all wanted to use them strategically, you could get some more. That makes sense.
And so I was big roller coastered out anyways, especially by day. I mean, by the 5th day of amusement parks,
that's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
Get him.
Missed him.
But if someone is if someone likes Harry Potter, their kids do, I highly recommend that. The detail at the Harry Potter place was amazing.
All distracted by this stupid dirt dog.
Yeah, I don't know. It bothers Andy every day. but the Harry Potter deal was absolutely amazing. The details that they did on that is crazy.
Yeah, we'll have to go there. Let our youngest get a little older.
The older kids definitely enjoy it more. Like Reese and Dylan didn't really care too much about Disney, but they loved Universal.
Yeah.
But Reese has read several of the Harry Potter books, so.
Yeah. Hey, Disney, especially Magic Kingdom, the Hollywood Studios, I think they liked a lot more. The Magic Kingdom, you can't buy alcohol there.
No.
They're at a place in the world that you need to sell alcohol. It's, by God, the Magic Kingdom.
Anywhere that parents are, that is kid-centric, they're missing out on some money.
Yeah. We went to we went through the first, I was like, we got to do Small World.
Yeah.
Which I knew it sucked, but I'm going to make them do it. I had to do it, so I made them do it. They're like, this ain't no fun.
You can tell everybody on that ride went with the same mindset, too.
Yes.
It's like by the end, you're like,
they've got to experience it.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, let's go.
All these old animatronics from the 60s that, yeah.
Yes.
And then, like, you go to, like, a new park, like at Epic, and you're like, Jesus, we have come light years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
From that. The amount of people, the amount of grown men running around Universal with Harry Potter wands and cloaks on.
Oh.
It's alarming.
Really?
It is alarming.
We're screwed if we ever go to Warden.
Oh, yeah.
I see now.
Beta City.
I see now why we are below replacement level as a nation. Because, like, nobody's having sex with these guys.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
They may not even do it with themselves.
No.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, they're everywhere.
And
Really?
Then, and then
Stand in line, $250 for a damn lightsaber.
we'd see the fireworks at Magic Kingdom the first night, and then there's this couple there, man and a woman, bawling their eyes out.
Really?
Like ugly crying about how beautiful the fireworks were.
Some good fireworks.
Like they're consoling each other, like they're embracing each other's arms, and you just see the guy and he's just fucking ugly crying.
I didn't even want to go to it.
That's embarrassing.
It's like that one dude that cried at the casket of George Floyd and just ugly cried right there. God almighty.
I was like, can we not watch this in the parking lot?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's the same fireworks show.
Well, and it's a crowded bitch.
Oh, it was elbows to assholes.
Yes, it is so crowded.
We went and had the fucking kids' prime rib and came back to the park to go to this.
Yeah.
So you were already coming off of a high note there with your little baby prime rib.
I was hungry. I was looking for some place to eat when I was looking at fireworks. I'm going to be starving.
Yeah, everything's fucking closed. Or it was, I think it was by the time the fireworks started. Because one of the kids wanted ice cream or something from one of those little shops as you go in. And it's like, or maybe it was just too crowded. I don't remember.
You know what kind of balls it takes to pay Tink there and have Tinkerbell and come across that? Did you see when they shoot her across? Because I remember that from when we went there before.
Line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I said, y'all got to watch that deal. And there's Tink. And that's it. Well, going across the top of that, I thought, it takes a lot of balls.
Oh, man. They probably don't get paid as much as you'd think either.
No,
Bunch of actors.
Hey,
They get some good looking women to be those princesses, though.
Yeah, we didn't. We did the character breakfast, so everybody was.
Perks of Daughters, I guess. You go see the real people.
We didn't see a lot of princesses around there. We didn't even see Mickey Mouse.
Really?
2 days, we didn't see any Mickey.
Little bastard.
We didn't see any. No, we didn't either. We just saw Minnie Mouse everywhere, and Donald Duck was everywhere. Mickey must be negotiating a bigger contract.
There were more foreigners, I think, than American citizens there, because everybody's
Really?
always bitching about, oh, they hate America and blah, blah, blah. Well, them fuckers didn't get the memo where they were from, because it was packed with foreigners.
I can tell because they don't get out of the way when you're pushing a stroller either.
But they will when you bump those
You
Achilles.
start hitting some ankles and they get out of the way real fucking
There
quick.
are no poor people there either.
No.
I'm telling you right now, you want to go to a crowd of uppity, snoopity people, you go to them places.
It's too expensive.
Shit, you can't even afford to park if you're
No.
poor.
It adds up freaking quick.
Their parking was cheaper than going to Jerry Jones to go watch Cowboys play.
Oh, really?
Only $30 to park that big Sprinter van we were in.
Yeah.
It's only $30.
Oh, yeah. Y'all had like a damn
And that was valet.
bus.
Well, we valeted twice, so I guess I only parked one. I parked at Disney, but I valet parked at Universal both times.
Since we were on site, they had shuttles to everywhere, so we didn't have to park anywhere. But if we go back, we've already decided we're doing what y'all did. I mean, even before y'all went, because it's so damn expensive to stay on site. And by the time it's all said and done, you'd have saved money by getting a house. You'd have had, you'd get kind of a break, I guess, away from the whole Disney throw up in your face that it is.
I'm glad we weren't at a hotel and we stayed at a house off site.
But you can actually rest at a house. Like at a hotel, kids, somewhere like that where there's pools and shit everywhere, the kids constantly want to go. So you never get any rest and everybody's exhausted and bitchy by the end, throwing up pizza in your hands and shit like that.
The theme room, the house, we had a house that was in it was in Davenport, Florida, and it was a neighborhood that's just built for what we did. I mean, it's VRBOs, but it was all Disney themed.
Yeah.
Well, not all. One room was Harry Potter. Me and Michelle's room was Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. What was y'all's room theme?
Star Wars.
Star Wars, and he has a lightsaber. And then the best room was Tony and Jameson's room.
Oh, why?
What was it? Minions?
Minions.
It was Minions' room. And Michelle started laughing. She came in there. She goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "Your brother and Jameson are in there talking." I go, "What?" She goes, "Tony's watching Fox News and Jameson is watching the Minions on TV." And she goes, "They're having a conversation like two grown men about the weather and shit, just shooting the shit."
Oh, man.
Have you seen, it's going on the internet right now, SIG, one of their guns, I was trying to find a video. They're having a lot of like negligent discharges in it. Like there's one cop, he's got like paperwork and he's walking around and like you see his holster just goes in the office.
There's a lot of funny memes out about it.
Oh, really? You've seen it then?
I mean, I haven't seen that incident, but like, I guess it's been not super uncommon, like dropping, I don't know what model it is, if it's like a P320 or
I think
something.
it's the P320. I was trying to find out.
They drop it and it'll go off and stuff. I think they've gotten it fixed, but man, there's some funny shit out there. I'm trying to think of a good one that you could pull up, but yeah, they've been getting hammered on by the old interwebs.
I don't even know. So like, I guess SIG is saying that it's close to a gun that they had, but a lot of people didn't like get a new holster. So just that little bit of variability in the holsters might be causing it. But I don't know, man. There's one guy, like he's got a stack of papers and he's just walking and that fucking thing goes off.
Yeah, that hurts our argument for people kill people, not guns.
Well, and
They're going to go off by themselves.
I appendix carry. I don't have a SIG, but like I always like
It's
tucking that
terrifying.
thing by my junk.
Yeah. I mean, that even if it misses, it's going to blow a bunch of shit up down
It's
there.
gonna like best case scenario is that I lose my dick.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, it nicks that femoral artery and I bleed out in a couple seconds.
Or
in
if you're
front of
sitting
everybody.
down with it in your appendix and it goes off. Mine's like pointed just to the right edge of the dick.
Yeah.
And if it goes off, it's going to hit like pelvis.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
It's going to be bad. Yep. And you know, they say, yeah, trust your firearm. You know, it won't go off unless you pull that trigger. You got blah, 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 blah. It's like, but what about that guy carrying the papers?
Yeah.
If he'd have been appendix carrying, he'd be old dickless now.
I got the same gun that you have. It's the
The P365?
no, it's the other one. It's
That Springfield.
the Springfield one. So it's got
XDS.
yeah, the XDS. So it's got two safeties on. It's got a trigger safety and a palm safety.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel a little bit better. Like, but whenever I tuck that thing in, like I'm way away from that palm
like,
safety.
Pinch it with 2 fingers.
I make sure it's in the holster and I just barely like click it in there.
I finally started making I always would carry it kind of canted and on the back hip. And it's, when you sit down, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like your shirt pokes out and stuff. And I finally was like, you know what? Well, of course, at the time I was doing that, I was fatter than I am. So it was uncomfortable in the front. And then I lost weight down where it's like, okay, I can do this. And I need to just get used to it because you end up not carrying it.
Yeah.
And how much of a piece of shit dad would I feel like if I didn't have it when I actually needed it? I hope I never need it.
It's in the car. It's in the console.
Yeah. Well, it's sure kicking ass in there. Glad I left it.
Yeah, we're in the Gap and everything's going on. Well, it's in the car.
Yeah.
I've kind of, whenever I first got my CHL, I carried everywhere. Even places I probably wasn't supposed to carried. And now, I don't know. I've kind of gotten comfortable, or maybe we got a new president in and I feel like the world's safer now.
Somebody should have had a gun in Colorado the other day, and that guy with that Molotov cocktail put his ass to sleep pretty fast.
But what did you posted something on Facebook that the government is warning of another terror attack?
Yeah, they are big time. Hell, Hegseth come out. They're all telling us right now it's going to happen. There's 20 million undocumented people coming to our country, and this guy was one of them.
Yep.
He got in 2 years ago. He hates America. He's Egyptian, hates Christians. There's full of them, and they said this is going to be a problem, and they said there's a big one coming.
Yep.
They're really worried. And then this drone attack and this Ukraine-Russia deal right now, I'll be glad when they get this shit over with.
Yes.
I'm tired of, I don't want to fund it. If they want to shoot each other up, knock themselves out. But Ukraine went in and shot all them bombers up. Well, Russia has to go by nuclear wars. You've got to have your nuclear strategic air command or whatever you have has to be in the open where people know where it's at. That's part of their deals. So they have to let everybody know where it is. Well, then Ukraine goes and blows up these bombers.
Yeah.
So that's going to come back to bite Ukraine in the ass, I'm assuming. But war is war. I mean, Russia's bombing them. They're bombing them good. But these drones that they use,
yes,
they can take them in a car trunk and open them up and they're armed. That's what scares me. Can you imagine a college football game, a pro football game, or taking this out and hitting a 777 as it's fixing to take off of JFK in LaGuardia and blow it up right over the city? And
they know that shit.
Yes, and that's what really has got me concerned.
And what's bad is the only ones that are getting caught, normally it's after they do something.
Yes.
And it's just the ones who are just a little bit too crazy where they weren't smart enough to make a better plan. And I mean, and it's people wonder why everybody wants the illegals gone. It's like, I know a bunch of them are probably good people, but once word got out that it really was wide open like that, I've never in my lifetime seen waves of people coming like that.
We don't mind Pablo that's coming here to work on the farm and wants to work and send money back. That's happened for years in Texas.
And it works.
Nobody has a problem with that. Occasionally get drunk and something like that going, but there's not a problem. But these people that are coming over from the Middle East, they hate us. And they've been, and not only were we inviting them over, we're paying them.
Yes.
It's such a bullshit deal the Democrats done. And it was all about trying to keep themselves in power because they wanted to make them part of the voting bloc.
And now we're spending $17,000 a piece to get them gone.
Yep. And that's cheap compared to what we're paying to keep them here.
Yep.
But our government has told us, they just come out the other day and said it again, I'm telling you right now, we're going to have more of these terror attacks because these people are here.
But what are they saying to do? Just be vigilant?
Just watch.
Yeah,
be
you
vigilant.
got to be paying attention.
If people are out there and you see somebody that don't blend in, call 911. What's going to matter? I'm telling you right now, I see a guy in robes walking around Knox City, around our schools and shit. I'm calling in because we don't have nobody like that.
Exactly.
You
got to look for something out of place like that.
Yeah.
And it's not even trying to profile. It's just paying attention to your surroundings. Well, and it's not even just the terrorism deal, like just the, I guess, ignorance to our culture or ignorance to certain things because just like what was it in Grapevine where where they killed that person on the jet ski? It was a girl just finished her prep school for going to the Air Force. They kill her and run. They finally catch the I don't know if they're boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. They're both here illegally. Mm-hmm. They killed somebody and hit a car leaving.
They hit 2 cars leaving.
Yeah. Haul ass because they're trying to not get deported, I would assume. But that person's fucking dead now. No matter what. But
those 2 both are going to. She is probably. Abbott wants her to get the death penalty.
Really?
I don't know how. I don't know how she can because it wasn't premeditated murder.
Yeah.
But she's illegal and she tried to run, but her trying to run and stuff has nothing to do with what she did.
She was trying to avoid getting deported or something.
She was going to be in prison the rest of her life. and then just send her to Ecuador to prison or El Salvador, wherever it is. Get rid of her ass. Let her
That's
go.
the thing, because I was talking to law enforcement here, and they said if you deport them, they don't go to jail there.
No, but
So,
you
like-
send her
They
to-
didn't do a crime there, huh?
Yeah, you just if she's from Mexico, you throw her over that line, and it's just
yeah, Mexico don't want to put her up.
so she's not going to go to prison. But at the same time, you want her to do time, but you don't want her to do time here because we're having to pay for it. So you want to send her back, but you know she's just going to go pick up her life down there. I didn't realize that those people were just on the bank of the lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like in knee deep water.
And they just came hauling in?
Just came
Yep.
hauling ass in
The girl's
there.
on the kayak. The girl not only wasn't prepping for the Air Force, she just finished her first year at the Air Force Academy. Sharp girl, had a whole life ahead of her.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't realize like it was on. Like that could have been a family of four.
Did you see the fight afterwards?
Then where they were trying to get her.
Gotten to be a big skirmish, because then she's trying to get away and stuff, and there's people fighting and shit. I mean, you got a girl, and so some ladies are giving CPR to this girl, and this other girl, one other girl was trying to get away, and somebody held her till the cops got there.
That's a
But
bad deal.
We don't have enough law enforcement.
No.
That's one problem we have. And those lakes down there, that's the most, Grapevine is where it happened. Not Lake Louisville, I think, is the most dangerous lake in Texas.
Really?
Yeah, but you get all them people partying and drinking, and they get in them boats, and they ride up and down them boats all the time. And water and alcohol and
It's
boats
bad.
is a bad recipe, and everybody's been a part of it.
Yep.
Shit, when I was young, we'd go the 4th to PK every year.
They've cracked down on that shit, though.
Yeah, they have.
Like,
But-
they'll have 6 game warden boats waiting and check every party boat coming out of there. And you better have you a sober driver.
and you need to be that way.
Yes.
It's dangerous. Tony got a BWI.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When he was like 24, 25 on a jet ski. Yeah. He
Everybody picking on little Tony.
Little Tony.
He calls me 9:30, 10. I'm fixing to go out. And Tony and a bunch of them went to lake.
night?
Yeah, 9:30, 10. Yeah, I used to go out all the time when I was younger, college.
Can you
So glad-
imagine?
It's dark.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that now?
Yeah.
No.
No shit. No. 10 o'clock. I'm in bed.
Yeah.
But I was going out, and the
Just
phone,
getting primed up.
phone. There wasn't no cell phones or nothing. Then phone rings. I answer. Hello. Hey, what are you doing? I said, thought you was at the lake. Well, I am. Can you come down to Palo Pinto County and pick me up in the morning? I go, what the fuck did you do? Did you get in a fight? It's the first thing. Did you get in a fight? Nope. Got arrested for boating while intoxicated. I said, you don't sound drunk. He said, I'm not. He said, I had 1 beer.
Oh, shit.
And he said, they won't take a blood test from me. They gave him a fucking, they didn't even do a breath test. They locked his ass up, took him in.
He got on the dock, like the kind that it's on the over the water. I guess that's the only kind of dock that there is. But
Yeah.
when he got off of the jet ski, the dock kind of swayed
Oh, yeah.
and he stumbled.
And so they're like, well,
And they're like, "Come over here.
Locked his ass up.
Had anything to drink? I had a beer. Good enough for us."
Yep.
clap.
He got the charges dropped, but it's funny. I had to, so I called Dad. My dad was fireman. Called him. I said, hey, I said, your favorite son is in jail in Palo Pinto County. He goes,
Y'all go with me.
okay. So I said,
Probably some poop in there.
yeah. What'd he say?
No.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, it's got to be. Because he came out like,
Yeah. Dad now. Andy and them got a new puppy, Roy, and so they're doing some training of learning how to shit, I guess. So anyways, I called my dad and said, hey, your favorite son's in jail. In Palo County. What for? I said, boating while intoxicated. My dad was pissed about that.
Yeah.
God damn it. Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I go, I'm going out. I said, he can't get picked up until in the morning anyways. But I said, I'll ride down there with you. Because Dad didn't get at the fire station at 8 o'clock. I said, I'm not going down there until 6 in the morning.
yeah.
So
You're like, he can sit
I
there.
went over to Dad's and rode with him. We went down, got Tony, and pulled up the jail or courthouse. And there's Tony sitting under a tree holding his life jacket just with a swimsuit on, nothing else.
Are you serious?
Dad goes, "You want me to take you back to Lake?" Fuck no, I'm going home. Chance will bring my shit back to me at our house. He said, "I'm just going to our house." So he
Oh, man.
took him to his house
Over one beer.
over a beer. But anyways, he got it dropped. So, but
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a very dangerous deal. And that girl was wrong, and she killed somebody, and she's going to pay the price. But her bail's only set for like $500,000, $250,000. But if she makes bail, they've got her held on a immigration
Oh, so she's not.
detainer. So
she's not getting out.
So why would you go get bail? You're not
Yeah.
going to get out anyway. So she's going to go to court. They're going to find her guilty, and they're going to give her 10 to 30 years probably, if I'm guessing. And they're probably going to ship her ass to El Salvador and make her stay at that prison down there.
You think?
That's what I'd do.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to go to that prison.
No. And the guy with her was illegal. But then the guy at Colorado, he was illegal the other day. The Egyptian guy that was throwing the Molotov cocktails at those people.
That guy needs some.
But if that would have happened somewhere to open carry. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. You're an alpha male. You're there and you're watching. Your family's not there. You're just there. And you've got a gun and you see this guy throwing these things. Are you going to shoot him?
Probably.
But that's a tough decision.
It is, because I know there's going to be a shit storm come down on your head.
Bingo. That's exactly right. You're in a no-win situation
Yep.
there. If you let him continue to do it, morally, you're not doing what you're taught
Right.
as a male to do.
Right.
But if you shoot him and kill him like you should, then you're going to deal with their stupid laws.
Yep.
We were in San Francisco last year.
And you're liable to have people protesting at your
Yes.
house and all kinds.
Yes.
It may change the course of your whole life
Yep.
doing that.
By standing up and doing what's
They
right.
poop? No. Oh.
When we were in San Francisco 2 years ago, we went and ate, and the lady had just scared me to death. The waitress telling us about how bad it is and how dangerous signs are everywhere. And she said they'll take a tire tool and knock your windows out and take your stuff out. Mm-hmm. Well, I've got all my stuff in the back of our Tahoe, and I've got a gun in my bag sitting next to me in the restaurant, which I'm not even supposed to have in California anyways. Right. But if I see some jackass take a tire tool out and knock my windows out and start stealing my shit, I don't have the ability to walk out there and not shoot the guy for stealing my shit.
Right.
I don't have it. I can't shoot a gun in the air to run him off because then I'm still going to get in trouble.
Yes.
So you're in a no-win
Same
situation.
amount of trouble.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean you're in trouble the whole way.
Especially there.
Yes, so you can't do nothing.
And,
so-
but nothing will happen to that
No.
motherfucker that's doing it.
That's right. But they wonder why nobody wants to be in California right now, and why
Yeah,
the people are leaving there.
You can't even. Well, and the thing is, the first people to figure out that you can't protect yourself are the people that you need to be able to protect yourself from.
Yes.
And once they know that, it's just like when they set a cap. Okay, you can steal this much shit, and you're not going to go to jail. Motherfuckers go and steal shit with a calculator.
Yeah, they know.
But I mean, if you say, all right, here's the line, you can't cross that, they're going to go right to it.
Yep.
So the further you move that line, it doesn't make it where less people go to jail. It just makes it to where more businesses get shut down because they've had all their shit stolen. Makes it where you go and shit's locked in a case that's like for personal hygiene at a Walgreens or something.
You can't even get toothpaste or some shit. It's all locked
It's
up.
crazy.
All locked up.
But you go to a mom and pop store and you start doing that stealing shit.
They're
and
out of
someone
business.
Shoot your fucking ass.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw a lady one time, her son got killed, robbed at a Dollar General somewhere, and some fucking random guy in there, he started beating up somebody, shot and killed him. And she's like, how fair is it you can't even rob someone without being the threat
I
of
saw
dying?
that,
What the
yeah.
fuck, your kid shouldn't be stealing shit. Teach him not to steal.
Nobody wants to take blame.
A guy that we have on the podcast, Trump pardoned a guy. He's a pharmacist. Phil's my pharmacist. He got his pharmacy I'm trying to pull up the video right now. He had his pharmacy broken into. Stole all this shit. Well, if your pharmacy gets broken into, it is hell. Like you got all sorts of government agencies on your ass.
It's probably just as bad or worse as a gun store getting robbed.
Probably like a gun store getting robbed. But he's like, I had to jump through hoops with this with these agencies to prove basically that my pharmacy can't get broken into. I had to pay $4,000 a window. The windows that he broke, $4,000 a piece, and he's like, and he got pardoned. He's like, how's that fair? Like, how are we cater to these.
Who pardoned him?
Trump did.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, and the guy, he's not a famous rapper. He's got a rap name that he goes by. I can't find it there. But it's just like, we're just incentivizing bad behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fucked up deal for sure.
Trying to find
we've went the wrong direction in our country. There's a lot of things in our country that's not good. Slavery,
Yeah.
racism. We can stop right there.
Yeah.
I can't think of nothing else
All this.
but
Yeah.
But everything always comes. So now every time, well, it's racist to do that. No, it's not. It's stereotyping, not racism.
Yeah. Difference.
Yeah. I don't know. I do not know anyone that's a racist. I don't know
either.
anybody that doesn't like someone based on color.
No.
I know a lot of people that stereotype people, and I stereotype the shit out of people. You
Yes.
know, I'm telling you right now, if you tell me you're buying crack, I'm saying, hey, you're buying it from a black guy. If you tell me that you got somebody bringing marijuana and cocaine across the border, I'm saying it's a Mexican.
Yeah.
If you're telling me you went to a meth house, I'm saying somebody white.
Yep.
So I'm an equal opportunity stereotyper.
Talk shit about them all the same.
Yes, yeah. Like Chick-fil-A, I saw today, they're going into Buffalo, New York.
Oh, really?
People are raising hell. Or Niagara Falls. They went into Niagara Falls, Buffalo, same area. Raising hell. Bringing that bad stuff here. The embodiment of what's wrong with America. They don't like gay people. They're this or that. First of all, it's the Lord's chicken.
Yeah.
They close on Sundays.
Yeah.
They're not hypocrites
And
about
that's
it.
about it. And they're real polite.
Yes, very nice. And if your daughter is going to date a kid in high school and he works at Chick-fil-A, you got a good kid.
Yeah.
Same for your son. If your son's dating a girl and she works at Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
they say, God bless you. My pleasure to serve you. I mean, they're good people.
Yeah. How offensive.
You can go across the street to Burger King. There can be a Chick-fil-A here and a Burger King in there, and the employees between the two stores are 1,000% difference.
Yep.
Chick-fil-A, you go polite. You want some shitty service? Go to Popeye's Chicken and argue with that lady at the deal. She's gonna tell you kiss her ass and hit the road.
Yeah. It may be worse.
But mad about that. And I'm thinking, what is wrong? Have you seen the lines at Chick-fil-A?
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah. So gay people are either every straight person in the world only eats Chick-fil-A chicken, or the gay people are breaking
Well,
strides.
that's what I was
eating
going
over
to
there.
say. I've never heard of anybody going in that was acting gay getting refused service. They're going to hand you it and say the same thing they say to the big burly guy wearing his denim coveralls covered in grease.
And I'm betting you some of them polite kids working there are Peter Puffers.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell
probably.
you right now.
Probably puffing for the Lord.
Yep, that's right. But that's a good place to go. But they're raising. I mean, these people are just raising hell.
Yeah, I don't get
Brings
it.
a bad element to your town.
Sometimes people, I think part of it too, like society is, if you really look at it, minus the economic status of everything being so fucking expensive, we've got it so good as a whole, and we don't have real problems.
No.
Like we have problems, don't get me wrong, and some people are going through harder,
There's some homeless people that are having some bad
yeah,
times. But
some people are having some shitty times, but for the vast majority of folks, the biggest struggle we've got is that, oh man, cars cost more than they used to. It's like there are places where people dream of having a car.
yep.
Most families have two or more. So shit's good, and because of that, the better shit gets, the more idiotic the complaining is. Like bitching about a restaurant coming through. Who gives a shit? Don't go there.
That's right.
They'll
And
go away if you don't go.
Bitching about a crowded Disney.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
And if they put
All
a
these
chick,
fucking people here.
Yeah.
If they
People
put a
like, you went to
Chick-fil-
Disney?
if
Yeah.
they put a Chick-fil-A in somewhere, it's in a good part of town.
Yep.
I've never seen Chick-fil-A. I've
No.
never been in a Chick-fil-A where I was like, better keep your doors locked.
They're
I
prime
went through
locations.
some McDonald's that you order and you roll your window up and lock the fucking door so you get your shit out.
Yeah. Go when the sun's up.
Yeah. And so you got to worry about that stuff. Chick-fil-A don't, they're bitching and raising hell about that. I'm thinking, God almighty.
Like that's what created what you were talking about. That's what created like the good old days that everybody thinks about in the 50s was World War II and how shitty things were.
Yeah.
But like I want my kids to grow up in an era kind of like, you don't have to lock your doors and everybody knows everybody, but I don't want to have to go through World War II to get it.
Yeah.
You
and I
live
don't know how
in
you
one
get there.
place you can be that way, kind of.
It's the country.
We've kind of had semblance of that living in small town America.
Yes.
You know your neighbors, you go kids. I know most people in Knox City. Well, now that Dylan plays sports in Haskell, I'm getting to know a lot of people there.
Yeah.
It's those small towns that you get that feel to. You go play those kids in Abilene.
Oh,
Those
no.
kids don't know
Yeah.
who their neighbors are like
No.
they did. Like I grew up in the same neighborhood where we knew the same people lived in those same houses your whole life. And it was going to be your whole life that way.
Yep.
People didn't come and go.
Right.
Now big cities are transients. People live in a house for 2 years, they try to move up and go to a bigger house, or they're turning into a rent house, or
Yes.
just whatever happens. And it's people come and go. We're lucky to live where we live, and there's some semblance of stability.
There is. And even at that, it sucks still. And I think we talked about this the last time I was on the podcast, but just like that, we started loosening up a little bit more and letting our kids, like, they can ride their bikes and they can be out of sight for a second and we don't freak out. And it's like, got to let them have that little bit of freedom, but it's still not that just be home when the street lights turn on.
How old's Langley?
She's 8. She'll be 9 this year.
9 years old. Okay. I'm going to say at 9 years old, Eric and Andy would walk from your house to our house.
Oh, yeah.
Not think nothing of it.
No.
If y'all said, hey, if you called from your house and you said, hey, we're going to walk down to the city park and go swimming,
No big deal.
now it's a big deal.
Yes.
That's a different. I'm that way with mindset now with the grandkids. I'm like, oh God,
I know.
And I start thinking about this shit. I walked when I was in 3rd grade. I lived in Bonnie Homes in Wichita Falls. Do you know where Sutherland's is in Wichita?
Yes.
Okay, that is a mile from my house.
Okay.
Okay, there was the fireworks stand was right there, and there's still probably a firework by Texas Nightlife and all that stuff.
They're probably still.
Okay, well, but that's where it used to be at.
Okay.
I would walk from my house. I would mow yards, get $10, mow a couple yards, get $10. I'd walk to the fireworks stand. I could buy a gross of bottle rockets for $4. I'd go buy me $10 worth of shit every day. I crossed 277,
Jeez,
crossed Midwestern Parkway, walked, 3rd grade.
that's crazy.
Me and 2 or 3 other kids in 3rd grade. Probably Tony hanging around with us in 1st grade. Nobody thought nothing of it.
And that was in Wichita Falls.
Yep, 100,000 people.
Well, and like the first time we went to Disney with the band, I was 16 years old. Zach would have been Reese's age. They just let Zach go.
Yeah.
We didn't worry about him.
Nope.
Now, I don't worry
He's
about my
friends.
grandkids in Disney at all. I'm telling you, it's the safest. Did you feel like that was a safe place for your kids, though?
I didn't want to lose them.
No, but they were safe there. You felt at least.
I don't want to test that theory.
No. Well, I almost lost Jameson. I didn't tell you all that, but when y'all was one of the rides, we go in a store. James wants to shop. You want to go right? I want to go shopping.
Really?
So we go in stores. Yeah, and he's here, and I look down or something. I look up, and he's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like 3 aisles around.
But he's
just
small enough you can't see
Yeah, I
him.
can't see. Well, I'm fucking panicking. Oh, goddamn, Andy and Jameson or Jesse are going to kill me. He's safe. I'm not worried about nothing happening to him, but I don't want to say I lost him.
Yeah.
And I feel like they got enough surveillance there. It wouldn't be that hard. But still, like, I was just thinking about it. Like, well, and Jeff even told us, like, when Zach was 10, we were here and Zach left us. We had Payne. Payne
Yeah,
was 5.
And I mean, there
5 or
was
6.
we weren't texting, none of that.
No.
Most
just-
people probably didn't even carry their phones with them.
No,
on
he
that
went.
trip.
He'd just go with the older kids, a couple of years older than him, and hang and did it the whole time. Come back and get money. He lost his wallet, and so I had to replace his money and that kind of shit. But that was the way it is. But that's the difference between when I was a kid growing up. Nobody thought nothing about like that.
Right.
I mean, we rode in the back of football a truck, pickup truck.
Yes.
Down Southwest Parkway to J.C. Park from Bonham Elementary. 10 kids on a baseball team in the back of a pickup going 55 miles an hour.
No big deal.
Every team was that way.
Yep.
Nobody thought nothing of it. You put 10 kids in the back of a truck now and fucking highway patrol, CPS,
Oh,
got a
God
helicopter
almighty.
getting you, they're putting you in jail.
It's going to be bad.
Back then, so like, were there a bunch of parents coaching y'all?
No, we would have parents didn't go to practices either. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, you can show up at practice and there's many parents there that a game. Afraid Junior's not going to get his chance or blah blah. No, matter of fact, I would get out of school and where I went to elementary. I'm guessing an eighth of a mile away was the boys' club. So we would get out of school at 3 or 3:30. We'd go to the boys' club. And if we had practice at 5, depending on what it was, if it was basketball practice, was at there. If it was football practice, usually you'd go home, like ride the bus home.
Yeah.
And then your mom or dad would pick you up. Or what normally happened was Coach Webb would pick us up, it was his name, and he had a Mary Miller, one of these vans, like one of these sprinter buses type deals. He'd pull up, and every kid would be at my house or one of my buddies'
Just
houses.
pile
We'd
in.
all pile in. He'd take us all to practice. But during baseball practice, we would go to the boys' club till 5 or 5:30, then walk to practice. And the coaches, 2 coaches would be there at 3. And that was it.
But I also think a lot of that shit is why men were men earlier then. Look, I mean, you guys already had to keep track of time.
You had to fend for yourself.
You had to know your schedule,
Yep.
and you had to figure out a way to get your ass where you were supposed to be.
Yep.
And you had curfews to abide by. Like, it was more responsibility younger.
Yep.
Now kids graduate, their moms or dads have made sure they're at everything they've ever been at on time or early.
Yeah.
They tell them what's for lunch. They know what's coming. Oh, this, that. So they're so pampered all the way up until their young adult life. They don't start having to take care of their own responsibilities and schedules till they turn 16 and they can drive because, you know, like you said, I mean, y'all were just turned loose. Be where you're supposed to be. If you miss it, that's on you.
And we didn't get all the choices kids have today.
That's
My dad
true.
used to say that about Michelle all the time. He said, damn, she'd be a short order cook. Because when I grew up, we had supper.
Yeah.
If 5:36, whatever time we ate as a kid growing up, I don't remember, but we had supper then. What my mom made is what we ate.
Yes.
You know,
No choice.
My mom. I don't ever remember my mom ever. Well, we didn't have calling from work and saying, "Hey, I'm going to stop at McDonald's. Would you like McDonald's?"
Right.
No, I want Burger King or Taco Burrito.
It was
which
show up with what I got.
Yeah, and I don't remember very many times us having fast food for supper. Anyways, we had a meal all the time, but we didn't have all these choices. I've seen Michelle, and even today, Michelle, if we go to town, we'll call the boys. Hey, do y'all want us to bring back Chick-fil-A or something all the time? And when all three, when Andy, Zach, and Payne were at the house still, fuck, we might stop at 3 different places. Well, he wants Del Taco. He don't like Taco Bell. Don't give him an opportunity.
Oh, I know.
Say, but that's another thing too. We pamper these kids, and we used to not get pampered like that.
No, it is what, and I mean, I'm not sitting here from a high perch. We are part of the problem, not the solution. Like I'm just saying it is wild how much different a lot of that shit is. And It's cultural. It's not like some weird pocket of
it's
crazy
everywhere.
parents. It's
But the choices we give them are so much younger. You go to a grocery store. If you could pull a picture up and you looked at a grocery store aisle in 1975,
oh shit.
it wasn't much. It's completely different. There was the canned goods. There was some dry goods. They didn't have these superstores because there wasn't that much shit to buy.
Yes. And they have 7 brands of ketchup to choose from or something.
And in the wine aisle, when I was a kid, there was maybe 3 bottles of wine on the deal. Now they got fucking 3 aisles just of wine, and it's just everything, frozen foods. We have too many choices and nothing. And so it's from the food to everything. We give our kids too many choices these days. It's, do you want this? Do you want ramen tonight for supper, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind do you want?
But I think with the responsibility thing, if it's not necessary, it's hard for parents to draw a line in the sand. Like they didn't have a choice. Their kids had to be responsible back in the day because it's just the way things was. They were latchkey kids, is what they were called. But like now, like I think about it with my 2 kids, like what's the right line for him to start doing the dishes? When should he start mowing the grass? When should he start, when is the definitive line of when are they old enough to be responsible enough to do whatever you're asking them to do? And it's a hard thing to, like we just got the new puppy. That's going to be the kids are going to do the feeding, the watering and stuff like that. But it's like, dad's always going to be there to fix it if I don't do it right. Well, that's kind of not the point. The point is you've got something else that you're responsible for now.
I noticed Jessie liked the puppy because before it's always, this is Andy's deal. This is Andy's deal. Last night she was really, I think she's going to like this dog more.
She was loving on it pretty good this morning.
Yeah, but before it was like, because I asked when they get the puppy, that's Andy's. You have to ask him. But oh bullshit, I know how this is going to go.
I know she was. We were about to leave to come out here, and she's like, "Let's roll this rug up real quick."
Yeah, but your kids are lucky though, and I've told you all this.
But they're still not. Reese still. I would not trust Reese to get home with all of his shit.
And he would tear some shit up on the way because he spills shit all the time.
Or be like, hey, you got jiu-jitsu. I can't take you to jiu-jitsu today. You got to get home from school. You got jiu-jitsu at 5. He would get there. He'd have half of his shit at the house. He'd forget his belt. He'd forget his water.
But he might not the next time.
I'm sure.
But that's true, right?
I'm sure some of us did that too, but we just were. It was a different deal because we didn't have no choice.
Right.
I mean, I rode a school bus home.
But that's what I'm saying. Right. When it's not mandatory that you have responsibility as a kid, and now it's voluntary. When is the proper time? How old do you like? How do you know?
Well, when I was in 3rd grade, I'm not lying when I tell you I carried a metal gas can. They used to have 1 gallon metal gas cans and a lawnmower, and I would walk down the streets and I'd knock on doors to mow yards. And I had me about 10 or 12 yards I mowed all the time. I had my own lawn service. 3rd grade. and I did that all the time. And that was I wasn't the only kid in my neighborhood that did it.
Yeah.
But I also hustled a lot more than they did. And I rode the bus home. I was very gifted when I was younger, educational. I was a pretty smart kid, sharp kid. So I've got to be the monitor on the bus.
Oh.
So I'd get out of school an hour early a lot of times.
And just go be on the bus.
I had a history class I didn't even go to one time. I remember for a month. I just took the test, but I made A's. It didn't matter anyways. I knew everything I was going to teach on that. It wasn't a hard class.
Yeah.
But I would monitor the bus. But I can't imagine Reese, like if you said that, being in charge of a bus full of kids.
Right.
And then going home and unlocking the door and
locking it back,
not burning the house down. He tried to put foil in the microwave the other day.
Yeah, but
I mean,
but it's because I just that's the way it was back then. I wasn't the only kid like that. There was tons of kids. I stayed home all the time by myself.
So you had So your peers were also doing the same thing. So you're learning from each other.
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine. Like we got this other house. I couldn't imagine one Saturday morning. All right. Take the mower and the gas can, go mow that yard, and come back. And then it gets to the point where something's messed up, and you're just like, it's easier if I just do it by myself.
Yeah, that's too.
I didn't have that deal with my dad and mom.
They were like,
"You're going to do it." Yeah, and I did. But I mean, it was just. But that was normal situation. Right. Like if you watch the Bad News Bears, the original one in 1970s, and it shows the way kids are. That's the way kids were. I mean, it was just a different world. We weren't so. I think today one of the things is we baby kids because we're worried. We want our kids to have better than we have.
Yes.
And I want my grandkids to have better than my kids did. And my life was a whole lot better than I ever had grew up in. But I think some of that we make the kids soft because we give them too much shit.
Absolutely.
They don't know how to say. I didn't ask for shit that we couldn't afford because I knew I wasn't going to get it.
Right.
Kids today don't mind asking.
Oh
for nothing.
no, that's like the other day. We told the girls like, hey, we're gonna, because they're getting older now and they don't play with the toys as much. You know, they're not playing with the Barbies and all that crap. So we're like, we're gonna have a little. We'll sell. Caitlin said this. It wasn't my idea, and I had nothing to do with it. She was like, we'll sell a bunch of these toys, take that money, and we can get y'all some new bed sheets with it. And Kimber's like,
bed sheets?
She's like, I am not buying bed sheets with my money. And I was like, what are you going to do? She's like, I'll just lay on the bed and put a cover on me or something. Like,
That's not where
y'all's money. And she'll say shit like that. Like, I'm not wasting my money on that. I want you to buy it for me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you understand it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
However, it's okay to waste dad's money.
Pretty smart on my part if you're asking me.
Scary.
I should have done that. Jameson wanted a wallet at Universal. Jeff gave all the grandkids X amount of dollars. You got this much money to buy whatever you want. I'm not asking. You got this much money, but when it's gone,
It's gone.
it's gone.
And I didn't care. That's their.
Yeah.
$30 wallet. Jameson, you only have $30 put in the wallet. Like you don't. The wallet, it wouldn't fit in my back pocket.
Oh, it was like straight souvenir wallet.
Grown man wallet.
That some grown man is like freaking dragons. How to Train a Dragon would
And I'm
have bought
like,
it.
where's your wallet right now? I don't have one. Why? I don't have anything put in it. So what do you want this wallet for?
Randy was way too rational. Made me look like a real ass in front of these people in line.
Oh yeah, they had it at checkout. I'm like, you're not buying the wallet. But I wish I would have been like, if you want it, you can use some of your piggy bank money, and you can buy that dumb fucking wallet. But I didn't think about it. I just did the hard no. But it's like he's wanting to buy a wallet because it's Judge's money.
Yeah.
And then the girl working at the deal, she kept looking at Andy and look at me. I'm like,
Well, and you know, back to the kids and things being so different now, another aspect, I think it was you and I were talking about it at one of the field days or something. Even you as a grandparent, is it just me or is shit with kids, are they way busier than we ever were? With sports and things like that?
We talked about this, me and Michelle talked about this the other day. This weekend, I've spent 2 weekends. I spent a weekend at a softball tournament the weekend before. This weekend, I was at a basketball tournament. This weekend, I've got basketball tournament again. Next weekend, I've got a softball tournament. Zach played travel baseball, and we played in a league in Wichita. So I drove to Wichita 100 miles away to play league 2 nights a week. He played travel ball a bit. Payne played a little travel ball because he got picked up to play by Anson and Brownwood, so we went to a state tournament a couple times with him.
Yep.
And Andy played 7-on-7 growing up and played.
That wasn't until high school.
That was high. We did not like it is now. No,
Like with 6-year-olds and stuff.
The other day, Haskell, y'all had a baseball tournament for the boys. Had
Yes.
a baseball tournament Saturday. We drove by there. That place was packed on our way to Abilene to play basketball in a tournament. And I told Michelle, I said, they didn't have this when our kids were growing up.
No.
Because we played Little League, and when we were done, right around July 4th, we were done for the summer. They got games scheduled. I looked at the Abilene Sports Complex, which is an amazing place. It's an amazing deal up there. And they showed me
the entry fees are high.
what is it, $200 to play?
Oh, I meant to get in.
Oh,
It's like $20 a person.
$20 for a weekend pass. Yeah. Per person. And it was packed. But they've got tournaments scheduled because I asked Tanner Eric, I said, how many more basketball tournaments are we going to play? She goes, well, we don't know. We're going to probably play this weekend, and we'll play, in July we may play, and they got a shootout in August and stuff. It's every weekend. There's so much money spent on this country on youth sports.
Oh, my God.
And there's our friend Jimbo at Ducks Unlimited. His son's a hell of a baseball player. They go everywhere. I mean,
Different states.
they'll go to like Orlando and play baseball. Then they might go to Buffalo, New York and play baseball. I mean, they go all, and somebody's like, God damn, Jimbo didn't know he was going to Buffalo. I'm just using.
Yeah.
But these people are these AAU basketball. But no, we did not.
I didn't
When I
think.
was a kid, we did. Now, growing up in Wichita Falls, youth football was huge. Youth basketball and baseball was, but youth football was, because we had big time high school programs.
Right.
So it was really a big thing. I mean, they'd have a parade downtown and every team would walk out. I don't think kids participate in football as much in the bigger cities because it's a violent sport.
Yeah. Worried moms.
But the basketball deal is just crazy. The kids that play this AAU basketball, and they ain't got a chance going anywhere. The NBA is full of kids from foreigners. So if you want your kid to be a pro basketball player, move to Europe.
Yeah.
He has a chance.
But I don't even think we started playing baseball here when we were kids until school was almost out. Now,
Yeah, we played. When you were a kid growing up, we played in April and May.
I don't remember that.
We did. You just don't remember very well.
Because I remember we'd have the All Stars, and that was over. That was June. basically.
We would play the first round of Little League playoffs was right around 4th of July. Like the weekend before 4th of July used to be the first week of July of Little League baseball.
I just remember it being during the summer. I remember a couple games toward the end of the school year, end of May, and then the bulk of the season.
We played through June because then All-Stars started. But we played in April and May.
You think so?
Yeah, I remember definitely.
But like now, it's like as soon as spring breaks over in March, it's baseball season.
Mm-hmm. We used
like
to,
March 15th.
We used to play about April 15th we would start. It'd be April, May, and June. Well, little dribblers, basketball. We used to not start little dribblers until February or March now, and now it starts in January or December.
Basketball can be crazy. Ours wasn't this year. It wasn't that nuts. That was the first year Langley's played. But like this year, having 2 kids playing softball, Jesus.
You can spend a fortune.
I mean, it beats you down. It's just hard, I guess. Like, I don't know. Part of in my head, like what my idea of how I want to parent is more than just sports, and it's hard to balance it because if you're not in it full bore, your kid's probably going to fall behind a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can work with them and get them caught up, but it's so fucking serious now.
Year round. Everybody else is doing it year round, so you don't want your kid to get left behind.
Yes, and then you go to these big tournaments, and I mean, one of those good teams shows up that plays travel year round and just fucking smears your kids in the dirt, and it's like, man, I want my kids to win. And then that competitiveness takes over, and then you look up and you're playing year round, and it's like, shit. You know, and you hear all these stories about kids that by the time they finally get to high school, they're done because they're burned out, and that's all their childhood memories is a single sport.
Going to travel baseball.
Yes,
going to D-bats.
So I struggle with trying to find a balance on. Like we just did a tournament with Kimber this weekend. Sweat our ass off. Little turd went and showed out. She did awesome, but we did that because we didn't take our 6U team to district.
Did y'all go to Rosebud and play?
It was no, we were in Cisco for this tournament.
We put this weekend. We played the tournament that was just 3A schools and under. And
the basketball one?
Yeah, and Dylan and them won. The Haskell girls won.
I saw that. That's awesome.
And but we're going to go play one of those bigger tournaments we'll play. We did that a couple years ago, and the girls from the big travel teams from San Antonio and Houston.
It's different.
Girls had full-grown asses and tits at fucking 8 years old
It's
out there.
weird.
Like, where are these grown women out here playing, you know?
That was one of those softball teams. I mean, this is 6U, granted. 7 years. Once you turn 8, you got to go up. There are kids out there bigger than the kids that are like 9 years old on our 8U teams. They're just, they're just big kids. You see their dad and he's 6'4" standing there. It's like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of those kids, it's incredible what they can do, and it's neat to see. But when you look at what the cost of that is, I guess not necessarily monetarily, which it is expensive. You get some of these people, like you're saying, going, they'll different states, dude.
They're spending a shitload of money,
just lodging and meals, and I mean, yeah.
The hotels are not cheap.
I got to think about this just the other day. So, like, we did Disney. Next week we go to Costa Rica.
People are feeling sorry for us right now.
When we come back from Costa Rica, like, we're looking at July.
Yeah,
we got a busy July though.
But that's what I'm saying.
Then shows,
and then it's show season. So it's like, how am I going to enjoy my kids?
Yeah,
because like as soon as we get back from this last trip, like that's basically I'm looking at 2 weeks right there of just kind of chilling. I told Jesse the other day, like, I haven't felt like there's a single aspect of my life where I feel like I'm giving 100% attention to.
I'm the same. And I struggled bad this year with it. Plus, like I know I told y'all, like weather was such a motherfucker for doing the helicopter hunts this year. I'm staring down the barrel of like, essentially filming the show filled the gap. It was supposed to be my bonus money for building the shop and shit. And so it's like, God dang. But I'm looking at all of that, and then I'm trying to keep that put together. You've dealt with this. You like get a bunch of cancellations or something. You're trying to shit money out of nowhere because everybody involved.
Once it's done, it's done.
Yes, and it's a nightmare. So you get through that, and it's like, okay, we're back going. This is fine. It's all good. And then boom, sports starts.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, okay, well, I coached Langley's team, so I need to help coach Kimber's team too. Fuck. Well, I severely underestimated that commitment. So now I'm helping coach 2 teams. Well, the practice schedules come out, and Caitlin's like, all right, so Langley has practice Mondays, Kimber has practice, or Mondays and Fridays. Kimber has practice Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I went, and then they have church Wednesday. And then we have games like, I said, that's every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, it's every fucking day. And then I'm spun out again. Like, when am I going to, I needed to be starting to edit and shit like that. It's like, when am I going to be able to squeeze this in? And then your house starts falling down around you and that list keeps growing. And yeah, it's nuts. And like you're saying, like, you're like a 70%
everywhere. And like now, because I got the new weight set, so I can work out at home. Like, I want to get in shape. I want to get better at jiu-jitsu. I've got a house I've got to remodel. Now
A puppy to train.
Now I got a puppy to train. I've got podcasts to edit.
Yep.
I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good father.
It's
and
a
it's
lot.
just like, I can't be 100% at anything. So like right now I'm hovering at like you said, like a 60 or a 70 everywhere.
And it sucks.
And you feel shitty for
Yep.
being at a 70 or an 80 everywhere.
Yep.
So I don't know. So now I just get up at 4:30 and just start hammering shit out.
But that's real life.
Fucking get up.
In your life, because you know what?
But y'all never told us about that, Jeff. Y'all were shitty parents. Y'all never told us that you go through.
They wanted grandkids.
When your kid, you never told us when your kids are little, you feel like a shitty human for being busy.
But,
And then when you're with them, you feel shitty for not doing work.
well, you grew up in a different environment because you didn't get a real reality deal of it because we only work 3 or 4 or 5 months a year really hard, where everybody, it's 7 days a week, but it's not it's not an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job, 52 weeks a year, and you get 2 weeks. I feel sorry for the person that does that.
I do too.
And there's so many of them that listen to us, and I do. You work 52 weeks a year, or you work 50 weeks a year. You get 2 weeks vacation, and you get weekends off, and that's it.
Yep.
And so we trade freedom for not always having stability that people do that work for somewhere else.
But like, I get resentful at myself. So like, if I don't work on the podcast and I play with the kids,
Yep.
I beat myself up for not like fucking. I've got to grow this thing, and like we've got these things that we need to do, and like if I don't do this isn't going to grow. So then I sit down and I start doing something with the podcast, and like kids are like off doing Legos or whatever, and then the cat's in the cradle starts playing in the background, and I'm like,
Oh, God. Yeah.
fuck. Here we go.
Dude,
Let me
last
close
night,
my laptop.
prime example. Not even a big deal. I needed to mow the lot,
Yeah.
across from my house. I was like, I got to mow it. If I let it go another day or two, it's going to just make a mess. Like,
Especially if it rains 3 or 4 inches.
And it freaking did. It rained probably almost an inch in Haskell last night, if I had to guess. It rained its ass off. So Caitlin took the day off yesterday to take the girls to his fucking softball camp, more sports stuff, and took Aubrey to the doctor because she just wanted to make sure she wasn't having an ear infection or something. It was just allergies. Anyway, they get home 2:30. Since she had the day off, they went ahead and they go out and start swimming in the pool and stuff. And, Dad, are you going to come swim with us? And I'm like, I got to get this done and this done. So I finished the stuff in the office. And then they're like, come on, get in. By now it's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, I've got to mow that lot. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. And then I was like, just do it. And I get the mower out, or I move Caitlin's car, get the mower out, get everything ready, get changed. And then I walk in the backyard. Dad, are you going to swim with us? It's like, I got to mow real quick. By the time I finish mowing, it's already supper time and all of that. And it's like, fuck, man, I missed that to mow.
Yeah.
Like, and I know there's a lot more opportunities like that, but it is. And, I was, like I said, I was struggling with all the sports stuff pretty hard this year. And I know a bunch of other dads were like, I don't know if maybe this year's just been a little more stressful for everybody, like in their own unique ways, not necessarily all the same stuff.
I think as your kids grow, it changes more, and you notice you notice more, I think, as your kids grow.
I do too. And maybe you just start to realize how time is fleeting.
But it's good. When, at y'all's age, you don't even know how good you got it.
Right.
And I'm not saying at my age it's different. I'm just saying I look back now when I was at y'all's age, and I thought, man, I wish I could go do that again. I would give anything to have all 3 boys in the house and be in the school.
Just not as grown men, right?
No, not at all. Shit, no, as kids. Dad's and daddy deal.
Yeah.
But I would give anything to hear Michelle holler at Andy to get up. Get up, you're going to be late for school. Zach, do this. Payne, do that. I would give anything to hear all that again. But when you're caught up in it, you're busy with life, and everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody's got life going. Because I'm telling you right now, everything that's hectic in your life right now, you're going to be me in a couple of years. In 20 years, you're going to be me. In 20 years from now, you're going to be going to your grandkids' stuff. And you're going to want to help do this, but you really are stepping on toes, and you don't want to step on toes. And then you want to do this because your grandkids want to do stuff. And then you're going to think, you know what? I can go home where it's quiet, nobody's there. Thank God I got that moment.
Yeah.
Because you're really going to enjoy that too.
Yeah.
But you're going to miss so much are the things that you take for granted every single day that every adult parent in the world has ever went
and
through.
There's no way to not.
See, but then I hear shit like that, and I'm just like, fuck it, just don't do anything. Just be a dad. Just be a dad.
I know it.
You can't though, because if you do that, your kids will never have nothing.
I know that, but it's like it's like, how do you?
Well,
that's
Mom
what we're
told
trying
me,
to get to. How do you balance it?
Caitlin was talking to Mom about it, the sports deal. Like when I was all frazzled, same thing. Like I'm half-assing life.
Yeah.
These are supposed to be the most valued moments, you know, getting to coach my little kids and be there. And I'm fortunate enough to live in a place where I even have a shot to do that. And I'm fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Like I'm miserable when I should be happy. And then you start being mad at yourself for feeling that way. And then Mom's like, oh yeah, your dad struggled with that. And like, fucking nobody told me that.
Oh yeah, everybody did.
Or it makes you feel a little better, but at the same time, it's like, man, it sucks that society, the way that the society is structured isn't all that bad, but the way that work takes such even like with our schedules being how they are, like you still have shit you have to get done in the office. You still got to cut these. Y'all still have to do the podcast. There's always stuff that has to be done, and you want to give everything to everything, and there's not enough you to go around. So you just.
But maybe that's where they had it right back then. Like maybe that's where the 5 o'clock guys got it right. He closes that fucking laptop at 5 o'clock. He goes home and he ain't got to worry about it till he gets back to the office. Like work just follows us everywhere.
But like Caitlin and I will talk about that. When we lived in San Antonio, we had I think Langley she was about 6 months old when we decided to move back. I think that's right. Every morning, get up at about 5:30. She starts getting ready. And then she would take Langley to the daycare, which was about 4 miles. Took 20 minutes to get there because all the crazy morning traffic. And then she had 16-mile commute to work. Took 45 minutes to an hour, depending if a train went by or not, where her office was. And I worked at Trophy Hunter's office was right across from our apartment. So mornings were easy for me. I'd go to the gym when she got up, and then I'd come back, go to work. Well, then I got out of work, and then I'd do pickup at daycare. I think that's right. I may be getting it wrong. I don't know. I've blocked all this from my memory. But by the time you get home, it's time to eat, get ready to go to bed, and repeat.
Yeah.
So imagine throwing baseball practice in on that.
Yeah.
Like Jeff's mentioning earlier, a bunch of the listeners that do that, like, man, we are very fortunate because someone like that can't just pick up and move to Knox City and have a decent life.
No.
Because the jobs aren't there. They can't pick up and move to Haskell and make a good income just off of jobs that are available in the market. You almost have to start a business or already have one handed down to you because the money's not there. So I get why people live in the city and you're kind of trapped. And
you know what you guys both are forgetting about?
What?
Y'all hit the lottery in life and y'all just don't even realize it yet.
Oh.
Both of you. You both work for yourselves most of the time.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that you get everything is
No,
glorious.
it's a motherfucker sometimes.
It is. There's a lot of stress because I went to the post office today waiting on a bunch of deposit checks supposed to be there, and there wasn't one of them there. And I'm like, God dang, I need some people to pay. But we give and take that. My buddy Matt Reagan told me that a long time ago. He said the best part about being self-employed is freedom.
Yes.
And no one realizes it until you've ever been self-employed.
Yes.
Because if I don't want to come here and do something in the off season, when there's hunting season, I've got my things I have to do. And so from September through the end of January, my whole life is right here.
Yes.
But when that's not here, if me and Michelle want to go somewhere for a couple of days,
go.
We rearrange podcast schedule to make it work. May have to do this or that, but we can make it work.
Instead of begging HR to let you have the day off.
Please have a couple of days off, or if something happens in the middle of the night, someone gets sick, there's a lot of positives to what we have. We want our cake and eat it too. And we want more than what we have. We want that financial freedom to have a private jet and go do whatever we want to do. We want to be able to just stay home and hang out with our kids all day long and not have to work and have a trust fund where money comes in. And majority of 99% of people don't have that.
Right.
But I really like taking the podcast to different levels is what I want to do. And like, that's important to me. But it's like, where's the trade-off here? You know what? So it's like, I want to do this. Like, I want to do the work. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy when videos go viral, and that's a lot of fun for me. But it's like, you got your kid wanting to play catch with you, and you're like, I got to do this.
They're only little one time.
Oh, I know.
You're just fucking proving my point, Joe.
But hold on.
Making me seem like shitty.
Hold on. I'm going to make you feel like a good parent, though. you've put yourself in a position that you can play catch. There's a guy right now that's working, that's listening to this stuff, that's driving a truck in the middle of Montana or somewhere, and he's going to be home in 3 days. Well, his family needs to eat. The kids needs pay the electric bill, shoes on their feet, whatever it is, and he don't have that opportunity. That guy, I've been that guy before. I know what it's like to be poor. That guy right there is doing everything he can to survive, to raise his kids and give them a better life. You've got it good, you just don't realize it.
Yeah.
You just got, and your kids have it good. They've got it so much better than you had growing up, and better than your mom had growing up. And that's just life, and that's part of it. And there's never going to be a balance where it's going to be perfect. You got to give one to take. I mean, there's always going to be a give and take.
You haven't answered a single one of my questions.
What is your answer?
I don't know.
What's your question?
I don't know where to suck at.
You don't have to be stuck at everything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Your kids got to
Just keep half-assing it.
your kids are active in church. They go to school. They have a good home to live in. They got 2 parents that love them. They get people that support them at everything they do. They get to go on vacations. They get nice things they need. They have a great life. You've done a wonderful job. Your kids have a better life than a kid. What's the dickhead that's an actor? I can't stand the old man that always speaks out against Trump.
Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro. What a prick.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's 80-something years old, just had a new kid. That kid ain't got no life.
No.
That fucker's going to be dead before the kid's 15.
Or transgender.
Yeah. But that kid don't, just because he's got money and stuff, that kid don't have a life. Robert De Niro ain't taking his old fucking diaper ass wearing out there throwing baseballs for him and shit.
Yeah.
And then, like I saw today, here in Knox City, 6th grade, they play junior high sports now because we don't have as many kids to play. So next year, Reese is going into the 5th grade, and then he'll be going in the 6th grade next year. So next summer, he'll have off-season workouts.
Yes. That's what
I'm done. This is my last summer with him.
No, it's not
This
either.
is it.
Bullshit. I don't remember us just stopping life when you got to 7th grade when you were growing up. No.
8 a.m. work. I didn't have 8 a.m. workouts.
But your life's not over. And there's
It's
so
done.
much more to do. But
Baby boy's gone.
we'll go back to the 80s.
And the
Wait,
cat's
going way over
in
the
the
deal.
cradle and the silver spoon.
When you coming home, Dad?
Real wealthy kids, parents send their kids off to boarding schools. Those kids don't have no life.
That's why they get in trouble.
Harry Potter made it, so can my kid.
I asked Reese
y'all are
about
wizard,
that.
Reese.
I asked Reese. I said, "Would you have gone to Hogwarts?" Oh yeah. I said, "You will until you miss your mom and daddy."
We'll see. He's going to church camp for a couple days in July. So
Is he nervous?
I don't think so. He's going with some friends, but I just mean like
Yeah. Speaking of church, like, I don't. Have y'all watched King of Kings with your kids yet?
no.
Get ready.
Why?
You're gonna see your kids fully comprehend Jesus' sacrifice for the first time, and it is rough.
What is it? It's a kids
It's
show.
a cartoon, and it's very tastefully. It's made by Angel Studios, the ones that have done like Sound of Freedom.
I thought
and
that
stuff
was
like
the Black Comedians was King of Kings.
That was Kings of Comedy.
Okay.
dickhead.
I was like,
No, this is an animated
you're watching
story.
letting your kid watch Cedric the Entertainer, huh?
No, animated story of Jesus, and it goes all the way to the crucifixion. And I mean, it's a cartoon, so it's not like gory and graphic and stuff. But like when your kids are like, why are they beating Jesus? Like, because they've learned about Jesus in church.
Right.
So it's a crying moment then.
Oh my gosh. I was watching them hang him on the cross, and I look at my kids both like in tears, rolling off watching.
Oh, I'm not watching that.
And it's like, oh my gosh. And I'm about to cry thinking about that. I was like,
Yeah, I can't.
don't look over there again.
I won't watch that. I cried in Lilo and Stitch the other day. I get all emotional.
Is that live action movie pretty good?
It's a very good show, but it
I
bothered
never
me.
watched. I never watched the cartoon one. Jesse said it's like identical to the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Just live.
I would have thought to
version
do
of it.
that instead of trying to sub everybody out.
Stitch reminded me of Amos Moses. Just getting into shit all the time, and then
You mean Michelle's dog?
Yeah,
That's what you
Michelle's
said when
dog.
I was filming all season. That ain't my dog. That's Michelle's
it
dog.
is her dog, but him and me are tight.
Oh,
so-
I got you.
But he reminded me of him, and then he had a moment where he died, and then it's just, and it bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
I won't watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I won't watch Bambi. I don't like anything that happens bad to an animal. And people are like, you kill animals for a living. No, we hunt for a living. It's different.
I will say the older having kids does it too, but the older it softens you up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And mortality is a much more real thing once you've got kids.
Someone laughed at me one time at a movie at the house when he was about 16. We watched
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Jeff boohoo.
I was bawling my fucking eyes
Oh,
out.
because he sacrificed
Yes.
his. Yeah.
Yeah, and Andy and Zach. Look at Jeff.
Big old pussy.
Yeah, crying over there. And I said, "You wait, guys." I said, "One day you'll have a family, and you'll know why I'm upset and
Yep.
sad."
Somehow my TikTok started showing me military funerals. Like, I don't even know how. Well, I don't even know what algorithm I subscribe to. Bawling my eyes out,
Yep.
watching fucking Navy
It's
SEALs.
because your phone camera saw you cry once. Now they're like, hit him.
pound the trident in and like hand the flag to mom or dad, and then they lose it. And
Oh,
I'm like,
man,
oh my
there's-
God.
Yeah,
Like
man.
Jocko was one of them.
If
So, like,
if
when
my
I see-
phone starts blowing up on military funerals, it's 100% guarantee that these microphones are listening all the time.
But yeah, I was just like, oh, why am I even watching? And then it just, once you watch one, that's all you see.
Yeah.
So it just kept feeding me these military funerals. I'm like, how do I unsubscribe to this? Please just let me. But I don't know. It's
Dad ain't easy, that's for sure.
no, it's not. But I mean, it's such a privilege though. And I mean, like, it's so cool. So we do jiu-jitsu, and I do it with the boys, and it's really cool to like see them go through adversity and like come out on the other side of it. And it's just, I don't know, just watching them grow up's the hard part.
Yeah. I've tried to keep a mindset on it. Cause like I've got friends and I'm not, it's not a cut to them at all. It's just a perspective, you know, every year that they finish up school, it's an emotional deal. And, you know, and I understand that because I don't like seeing mine get older, but at the same time, it's like, man, look, like we're doing this.
people.
We're doing this. Like these are pretty good little humans that we've got. Like
Yeah.
we're not too terrible of parents.
Jeff always says it cuts you a little bit deep whenever you go from daddy to dad.
Yeah, that
Yes.
I'm worried about because Langley's knocking on the door.
Yes.
She's already getting that kind of just like Reese. You know, they're still little kids. You can watch them play, and when they're really genuinely playing, it's like okay, they're still a kid. But
Yeah.
some of the shit they'll say back to you, it's like,
We're not far.
nope, that's junior high talk right there.
Dad sucks. Dad, I'm telling you right now, Dad is followed by money. Mm-hmm. Dad, can I have $20? You know, Dad, can I do this? Dad, can I do this? You
Mine
know?
might still say daddy, but it's just because they're girls trying to manipulate me.
Let me tell you what old Judge got this week. So J-Bone comes to me. I come up with this plan going to the airport. All three grandkids rode with me and Shell. We're going to do a demerit merit society here. So what I'm going to do is if you do something good, I'm going to give you some points. If you do something bad, I'm going to take points away from you. At the end of the trip, whoever has the most points, I'm going to buy a gift card at a store you want. If you want a Lego card, Dylan's going to want Sephora or Ulta now.
Oh, already?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Man.
So whatever they want to do, that's what the gift card for. So we keep points. Jameson, the fucking little politician, I'm telling you right now, he just every answer. Well, he was yes sir, no sir. Can I do this for you? Can I do that? So Michelle,
Fluffy pillow, sir.
yeah, Michelle asked him. She's asked them all, and she goes, "Okay, what do y'all look forward to the most of going on this trip?" And Jameson goes, "I just want to be able to spend good time with my family."
Points.
I was like, that little fucker's gonna be president of the United States right there one day, boy. He's got it down. And the other kids were like, huh? And he just the whole way down there kept doing that. So the last night he comes to me, or that last morning, he comes and gets in bed with me and Michelle like at 6:15 in the morning. Judge,
How are these points shaking out?
he goes, I'm gonna win the points. I said, you think so? He said, yeah. He said, how much money do I have left to spend? I said, well, you need to talk to your mom because Jesse had a calculator on how much he's spending left. He goes, well, I think I got everything I want right now. He said, so how about this? How about the money that you're going to give me for the gift card for me winning this deal and the money I got left over? Why don't you just give me some cash now and I'll just put it in my pocket? That's what he tells me.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Good
I
grief.
said, Jameson, I don't know how much money you have left. You've talked to your mom, but I said, I think that if any one of y'all went over budget, it's by God has to be you.
Gonna be Jameson.
I said, I'm telling you right now.
He's grown up a lot
Yeah.
since hunting season.
Yeah.
But he did. He was like, we'll just take that money. But he politicked the whole time. Then he come in and it told on him one night. He come in there. He said, listen, they're being sassy in there. I go, what? He goes, yeah, they're fighting. They're being sassy. So I think you need to demerit them or take some of their points away. And he said, I think I ought to get points for letting you know they're not behaving.
Jameson's at the age of like trick.
Jeez.
I mean, smart.
He like tricks our minds because like he's still cute and cuddly and like not that Reese doesn't love us, but like Reese is growing up.
Yeah.
But Jameson, so like you see Jameson in the stage he is in and realizing that he's going to be Reese in a couple years. So now you're like, should we have one more? And then you're like, babies suck. Babies suck bad.
We're in them terrible twos, and
But
it's
it's like-
hardcore.
Once that's over, like once your youngest gets to be Kimber's age,
Oh, you start missing it.
you start to be like, fuck, this is really over? Like, this is really all we're going to do? So
Yeah, I just try to remember.
I try to talk myself out of that.
I do too. I try hard, and I slip
Yeah.
where I'll get all bummed out. But it's like, man, I got to live it,
Yeah.
and I got to be there and not miss much.
Yeah.
So
I got emotional watching the last season of Stranger Things because, like, you know, like they basically grow up throughout the seasons, and like I think it was the end of season 3.
I got emotional because I got shit scared out of me in that last season.
But Will realizes that all his friends have basically grown up and don't want to do Dungeons and Dragons anymore.
Yep,
So it's like, oh,
I forgot about that
that sucks.
because you're seeing it. It's knocking on our kids' door. Or
Yeah.
That's just like, I mean, like I said about that garage sale deal. Like
Yeah.
they don't play with Barbies.
Right. Yeah.
When that happened,
Yeah.
and of course the baby still does, but
Yeah. Yeah. Both of the boys have toy chest shit of just stuff they need to get rid of. That
Yeah.
we'll play with that. It's like my hunting closet. I got a bunch of shit that I never wear that I'll never get rid of.
I've got that same problem.
My closet's the same way.
Dude, I've got a
Wore that
bag
10 years ago.
I've got a bag that I just pulled out from under the bed. It's one of those that you use a vacuum cleaner to seal down. It's all my skinny clothes, right?
Yeah.
They're like fucking 10 years old. They're nice.
Have you given up on them now? Finally,
I'm starting to. But there were some in there that are like a 35 waist, and it's like I can get to that.
I can get to that.
But then the
That's
34s is like, that's a lot. Those might need to go. But I took them out, sifted through them. I had 2 piles going for sizes.
Yeah.
Like these are 36s. I don't keep these. 35s, maybes. 34s I need to get rid of. And then when it was time to get rid of them and put them in like the pile of shit she was already going to take to Pink Ladies or something, I don't know. I might get small enough to do it and then put them back in the pile.
I don't want to have to totally I don't want to have to
Some of
rebuy
it's like
everything.
Sitka shit. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't want to give that away.
I wear like 10 shirts and that's it.
2 years ago, I went through the closet and I was throwing some stuff out because Michelle's always, and if I went home tonight,
Yeah,
and
but
I
your
said something in the
sizes have
closet-
changed a lot.
Right. But in there, I had some jeans I wore when I met Michelle, 34, 32s.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I'm going to throw them away. Let's be realistic. That ain't going to happen. If
I'm going to give up.
If I lose 50 more pounds, I still ain't wearing a 34, 32. So it's not, so I threw them away finally. But I'd had them jeans. Then I started thinking after them went, I thought, Jesus Christ, I threw about 3 pair of like that. Them foreigners pay big money for old 501. Thought, shit, I probably should figure out what I could have got. I might have sold them on eBay and made me a bundle. Tony had a damn, is it Patagonia? Mm-hmm. Or, no, it's the ski clothes.
North Face or
North
Patagonia?
Face.
Yeah.
He had a North Face powder jacket that he bought in like 1988. He sold that bitch on eBay for like $400 or $500.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was because
Vintage?
Yeah. I got an old polo coat I paid a whole lot for, Ralph Lauren coat. That I can wear it again, but I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Deal.
Couple months of jiu-jitsu, you got it.
And I'd like to be able to wear that again one day. You know, I told Michelle I'm gonna wear that in my funeral because I'm going to get cremated anyways, and you can put my ashes in it at least and roll it up.
It'd be a lot easier if I didn't like food so much.
Oh, me too. And bad food.
It's good shit. Tastes good.
It's another
Warms the
thing-
soul.
It's another thing about it, just everything being convenient.
Yep.
The house is full of
we're a
shit.
victim of like variety. Like think about it. When we were kids, and I mean, I know for sure when you were a kid, like, it was even way more limited than that. How many would y'all have? 3 cable channels, probably just locals.
3 cable channels?
Yeah, I don't know.
When we didn't have cable TV till I was in 7th grade.
Okay, there you go. All right.
They didn't even. They didn't even put it in Wichita Falls till like in certain neighborhoods.
Really?
4th or 5th or 6th grade.
Was
even.
it just antenna or nothing?
It was 3, 6, and 7. We had 3 channels.
So you had 3 channels.
My school didn't have air conditioning. Ever.
Oh God, you told me that. So you got that, and then us, it was like, well, fuck, y'all got video stores and 50 cable channels.
Yeah.
If you got satellite, you got 150, even though half were worthless.
Yeah.
And now you've got 6, 7 apps, whatever it's up to now. You literally have damn near every movie available except when one pops in your head you'd like to watch. That's
Yeah.
always the one that's not streaming anywhere. But like, you have so many options, you can't ever pick. I
No.
can't tell you how many nights I sit there looking through Netflix, then I'll go look through Max,
And there's nothing to watch, but there's thousands.
Yeah.
where there's so much shit to choose from you can't even pick. Same thing, like go to Abilene. What do you want to eat for supper? Fuck, I don't know. I've had it all and it's all pretty good, but there's 80 options. Like, which one are we going to pick?
We didn't have that growing up.
No.
I did that. I was on the HBO
It's
app.
almost like we're a victim to it.
I was on the HBO app, and I was like, that's a good movie. That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Or do you ever start one and then you're like,
and then I X'd out of it. Not even,
get on your phone.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
Doom
just,
scroll.
it is. Social media has just totally just screwed up our attention spans.
It has. It's done a lot of cool stuff. And, it makes me wonder, too. Like, I know statistically, like, kids getting kidnapped and shit's higher. I understand that. But how much higher is it really?
It's not. It's lower.
It is?
It's lower
So
since the
it's
70s.
because we know about
Yeah,
it.
we know about it. We know about the kid that got. We know about the girl in California that
Yes.
was almost kidnapped.
So now we're all terrified.
Yeah.
And,
Whereas when Jeff was growing up, ignorance is bliss. They didn't know about what was going on in Utah.
yeah.
The one case that happened in Georgia. Now that's all we see.
Yep. It's mainstream.
We had some kids get murdered when I was a kid. Different little situations. We had a kid got his dad killed him by Kirby Junior High. I remember that. We had the serial murderer that killed the Tony Gibbs, the lady, and that was big news for Wichita.
Yeah.
And then when I was in college, we had the rapist,
Oh.
and he used lime green condoms or something. That's how he ended up getting caught. But he would go. It got
At
bad.
least he used protection.
It got bad enough that all the apartments around Midwestern they weren't no Section 8 apartments then. They were normal apartments. There were normal people living there. But anyways, I dated a girl that lived in one of them, and I'd go over there one night, and it was like late, like midnight, around midnight, and boy, if I had my hands up on the fucking car and all kinds of shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were to anybody, and I told them who I was, and, just right there, and it was fine. But it was a bad deal. So we had something, but anything that did happen was under a microscope. The shit going on in Little Rock, Arkansas, we didn't know about.
Right.
Like you do now.
Yes.
But it was things local and so there'd be a big microscope on you. And that serial killer deal, they had 4 women got murdered in Wichita in a pretty quick, in a pretty short time. And so, man, it was a big.
But once he was caught, everybody went right back to.
It's like everything else.
Yeah.
But it was under a microscope.
But like now, like we're so worried about our kids getting taken. When was the last time a kid got taken within a 50-mile radius?
There's a little girl
where we
from
live?
Stanford got killed in 1980 something or 88
Last
or
time?
something.
That was the last time?
That's the only one I know of out here, and that they never found out who killed her.
So we've gone on almost 50 years and it hadn't happened?
Probably. No, there was a kid. Seemed like a couple of years ago someone snagged a kid up in Rochester somewhere, but most times it happens, it's a relative or something.
Yes.
Well,
Or a
just like-
divorced couple,
Yes.
and he's not supposed to have them, and he came and took them.
Who was the kid that was missing just the other day? The little girl on the motorcycle, just like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Was that Hamlin or somewhere?
Oh, I didn't hear about
That's
it.
outside of my radius, Jeff.
Somewhere not far from here, a guy called in his daughter was missing. She went
Oh,
riding
yeah. I think it was Hamlin.
went riding
And
with
it
an
turned out
uncle
to be
on
a relative or something.
uncle on a motorcycle, and some guys going down the road saw him and this little girl the next day, and I don't know if anything ever happened to the little girl at all, but I mean she was alive. But that just happened like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I said 50, and that's at 52. So,
Okay, there you go. But no, we haven't had much.
But it's just there.
Like Eric
and
and
Amber
I,
Alerts.
we have. Oh yeah, you get one for fucking Houston.
Yeah.
It's 8 hours away. But we have it so worked up in our head that we got to see these kids all the time. Nothing's gonna happen.
It shouldn't.
It
but you
shouldn't.
just never know because
But
You don't want to be the one that it does happen to.
Yes, and that's it. Like the internet, you get to see these people who lost their kids.
Yeah.
You see that, and then they politicize it, like, "Oh, this illegal alien raped and killed this little girl," and you're like,
I got a little girl.
Didn't a
"Yeah,
kid
that's
get
exactly what happened."
Didn't a girl get taken away from Texas Stadium or something last year? She left with some guy. She's like 14 or 15 years old. Went to go get a drink or something, and then disappeared. But she left with some guy. That was at either a Ranger game or a hockey game or a Maverick game. I think it was a Mavericks game. Maybe it was American Airlines Center. I think but she made the wrong choice to go.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a daughter that's 12 years old to 16 years old or 20 to out of high school,
Yeah.
you probably need to be monitoring their shit.
Yeah.
You really do, because there's a lot of older men, 25-year-old guys, 30-year-old guys that are talking to these 14, 15 on social media. You hear about it all the time.
Yep.
And these girls fall in love with these guys and they want to leave with them. And then you're in a bad situation, especially if you got a daughter at 16 or 17. She's a
Yes.
senior in high school.
And she thinks you're dumb as shit.
Yep.
And like I've seen now, like AI can manufacture, like AI can take a picture of a kid And whoever has it, they can get a picture off of Facebook of your kid, and they can like pop that into AI, and they can like generate a porno video. Like I saw a bunch of like I think there was like a 14 or 15-year-old kid. They were extorting this kid. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Hey, we've got you doing this," and it wasn't him. He didn't send anything, but they're like, "If you don't send us this amount of money, we're gonna leak it to the school." Fucking hung himself.
No, that's kind of shit. But you got to watch your kid. If your kid's got social media and you're not in it, and your kid's under a junior in high school, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You got a daughter that's 18, 17 years old. You really just. I never had a daughter, so it's easy for me to say that. But if you've got a daughter that's a senior in high school, you probably don't want to go through her phone. You do want to go through her phone, but you probably really, really don't want to go through her phone. And it's just make your life a lot easier if you don't. My buddy Matt used to say one time, he had a daughter, and he told me one time, he goes, "I don't care if she has sex with someone. I just don't want her doing drugs." He goes,
"Drugs will ruin your life."
Drugs. That's what he said. Drugs will ruin your life. Sex you can just have fun with. Just be careful,
Yeah.
But reality, though, is he that far off?
No.
I mean,
we all have this idea in our head of a perfect princess, but I'm also pretty realistic thinking, dude. Yeah. I mean, I courted my wife, and I know how that went.
Yeah. If your daughter,
they came from somewhere.
Your daughter's 18 years old, and you had to make that choice right now that she'd had sex with 5 guys or she was doing meth, what would you take?
Well, I think we all know.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying, though. But that's
meth, one way she keeps her teeth.
Yeah. Meth is a package deal, because then you get on meth, and then you're having sex with the 5 guys to pay for your meth addiction.
But that's the reality of where it is. And it's so different. When I was in school, the goal is to go buy some beer or a bottle of Strawberry Hill and get lucky. Yeah. And if you got lucky, you got lucky. If you didn't, you was going to try.
Yeah.
And if she said no, the third or fourth no meant no. But that was common. Well, nowadays, it's not like that.
No.
Mm-mm.
I can't imagine a boy going on a date with a girl. First of all, you're taking a chance when you kiss her, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And then if you try to touch her tit, whew,
you better have a consent form.
I'm telling you, I can't imagine that.
Well, and it's weird too. I feel like drinking as a hobby or whatever you want to call it, a social pastime feels like it's on a severe decline.
I wonder I'm curious. It is going down.
Oh, way down.
With
we talked about it.
Gen Z and shit, like they don't fuck with it at all. They'll take a gummy and do puzzles. I don't know. It's weird.
A buddy of mine owned a bar. He was a friend of my dad's, older, and I said something about he had a bar, and I was like, ain't nobody going there. I was probably in college. We went and ate dinner one day with him, and he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, it's no place we're going to go." He goes, "I don't want y'all there." I go, "Why would you not want all the college kids coming down there?" He goes, "Ain't no money to be made there." I go, "What?" He goes, "You can't make money off fucking 21, 22, 23-year-old kids." He goes, "I'd much rather have a 55-year-old drunk here than and it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
But the kids today, plus who drink? Y'all got way too many choices for alcohol these days.
It's stupid.
I mean, from the White Claws and High Noons to every kind of different flavored alcohol.
You don't like the taste of traditional alcohol? Here's one that doesn't taste like it. Here's this.
And now they got bottled marijuana you can drink, basically. I think it's Willie's juice or whatever it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Teen drinking is down 50% over the past decade.
Holy shit.
What's teen drug use, though?
Oh, I bet it's way up.
And vaping.
You're asking me shit.
Vaping for sure.
That's the worst thing. I don't know that vaping is better for people around you than smoking cigarettes, because I cannot stand cigarette smoke. But I just don't know how they've got any kind of...
Drugs are also down.
Well, that surprises me.
So, yeah, and I mean, I've heard that a bunch on a lot of stuff where, like, it's just a generational shift. I don't know why. Which is strange, though, because, like, so many people from y'all's generations, like Dad didn't drink much. And it was because of alcoholism in the family. He'd seen that before. People would do that to try to shift your own narrative. But, like, I don't feel like... What is that? 12th graders? So that's seniors?
Yeah, so back in the 80s, basically everybody did it, and I know that graph's kind of hard to see. Basically,
that's 100% at the top.
100% right there, and it's down below 50 here. Marijuana use back in the 80s, half were doing it, and it's down, I can't tell where that is, 25%, 30%.
Well, I never did the marijuana ever.
Lowest in 3 decades at 26%.
There's alcohol.
But I did drink.
It highlighted.
I did drink some beer growing up.
Yeah.
And a lot of my buddies drank a whole lot of beer. And I was usually the pretty level-headed one that did the driving.
Nicotine vaping is up 21% as compared to 35% in 2020. But
I didn't
that's just because it's becoming easier to get.
I didn't have a lot of friends that smoked though. Cigarettes.
Yeah.
We didn't. I mean, I don't remember hanging around very many people that smoked at all. But everybody drank beer.
I just remember the smoking section and non-smoking and how mad Dad would get when they'd set us on that borderline.
We had a smoking area at our high school.
Really?
Yep. It was called the
What was the legal smoking age? Was it 18 or 16?
I think it's probably 18.
But nobody gave a shit.
No. But anyways, at Old High, you go out in the back and they had a smoking pit or something. And it was just some bleachers by the old track. And everybody got there and everybody that smoked got there and smoked. Because the kids I was friends with that dipped, they wouldn't let them dip out there and they'd get all mad.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They get, it's not fair. They dip. When I was in third grade, and I remember this as in third grade, I'll never forget this. We could walk from school. When we got to school, we had baseball practice. And one of my buddies in third grade, I'm not going to say his name's Todd Delzell, but he dipped. And him and a couple other kids
Third grade.
And they'd walk to Casey's Corner, this little convenience store it's probably half mile away from our elementary, and could go buy a can of snuff for 50 cents.
That's crazy.
And they'd sell it to you.
They didn't give a shit.
Save it for your mom.
I used to go get cigarettes from my mom all the time. She'd give me $2 or $3, go in and get a couple packs of cigarettes.
You ain't getting no couple packs for $2 or $3 now.
No,
but that was the way it was back then.
Yep.
And kids dipped, and I threw up. I tried dipping. The reason I know it was in third grade because I tried in third grade to dip, and I threw up, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Yep.
And I never tried cigarettes. It's just tobacco and just.
I don't even know how a third grader can like it. Dipping.
I tell you how much I liked it. I didn't.
That's hardcore to be able to do it.
Just these little Zen pouches spun me out in my 30s. And that was
I
like
can't
a
handle nicotine very well.
bit at a time.
Yeah, a little bit.
All my buddies in high school dipped Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
I can't do it.
Yeah, and I
tried.
guess by the time we were in high school, they didn't you couldn't get away with none of
Well, you weren't supposed to do it, but they really didn't do nothing. Hey, I got pulled over by cops drinking many times. Okay, who's the soberest one here? Jeff's only had 2 beers. Boy, if I see your dad tomorrow, I'm gonna. Y'all pour that shit out and y'all go and they make us pour the beer out. And Jeff, you don't drive nowhere, but you go straight home, okay? And so we got where instead of pouring our beer out, we would hide a cooler of beer 3 blocks off of the main drag in Wichita. And that way, if we get pulled over, we just have to throw the one beer we had out instead of having to empty out a case of beer. But they never, ever, unless you got caught by the Liquor Control Board, you never got tickets. They just send you home or call. Yeah,
I think that's what Dad said it used to be. If you got caught, they'd make you dump them all out. And that was it. Send you home, tell your parents.
A lot of times they didn't even tell our parents. Just get your, who's the sober? But I've been many times. Who's drank the least here? By God, can you walk? You get your ass home. Well, nowadays a cop does that and the kid has an accident, the whole city's liable and he'll go to jail.
Yep. That's exactly right.
So now it's no slack.
None at all.
Nobody's accountable for their own mistakes.
Nope.
All right, it's been 2 hours, and I got a puppy that probably needs to go pee. So, appreciate you doing everything. Looking forward to the new season of the First Family of Waterfowl
We
coming
didn't even
out.
talk about it. Season 4 will be coming out in about a month.
Yep.
July, last part of July.
Look forward
Seen
to
the
it.
first episode. First episode looks really good. Teaser looks good.
Yep.
Jeff blowing up over fucking peanut butter snacks over there.
I had to put that in there. It's been fun. No, I enjoyed it, the filming process, and I got asked, I think, by Shell and Jesse, like, what do you think you'll be able to handle it by yourself? I was like, shit, this is. All I'm doing is documenting and telling the story of my childhood.
You done it. You done it.
It's the same shit I've grown up with, and
you done a great job. I did apologize to Blake, but I didn't realize until the other day. Who was at our house the other day that we talked about this? We talked about Blake. It was one of the guides.
Talked about it with Snacks on the podcast.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, they'd seen it.
They were laughing about it.
They knew about the footage before because
I wonder if Lexi showed them.
Lexi showed them.
Oh, okay.
And they saw that because I told Blake, I said, "Listen, but I love you, but I kind of got mad at you."
This is going to come out.
It works nice because I got, whenever we were preloaded, Andy already knew you were mad, and we were out there at the skinning shed or the cleaning shed, and Andy warned Blake, and Blake's like, well, fuck him then. I'm going to throw him out the window. I'd have thrown him out the window if I'd have known he's going to be like that. If he wants him so bad, if I can't have him, nobody can have him. So it works out nice.
Oh, it was hot. Boy.
When I see Blake's fat ass, I'm going to jump his ass too.
Just for backstory, everybody, we've got one of our good friends in town, our school superintendent, every year for Christmas makes a big snack box out here, and he brings us, and he makes these peanut butter cereal type. I don't know what they are. They're good.
I never saw one. They were all gone.
Oh, they're my
Blake ate
favorite.
'em all.
Blake ate them all. So anyways, he makes a bunch of them because that's what I like. So I go in there and got me a hot tea and went to go get them. And every other candy's there except those damn peanut butter deals. And they said, well, Blake took all of them. I'm fat son of a bitch. I was pissed. Oh, it was hot.
Can't even defend.
And then
himself.
Lexi didn't film one morning. She was supposed to go.
the
And,
same morning.
and so-
That was that
and so
morning.
they go,
Perfect storm.
Blake told her not to do it. When the guess we can fucking find out when we need Blake to tell us what we're having for dinner tonight. Oh, it's hot.
It was fun. He was, and just so everybody knows, by the time Blake got back, he was already cooled off. So
Once I blow up, I'm done with stuff.
it was fun.
But I was hot then.
I was
boy.
glad Lexi was here to film it.
See, there it worked out, Jeff. We wouldn't have got that otherwise.
If Blake would have walked in at that time, I would have jumped his
Oh,
ass.
I guarantee you would have.
But
This
I'd
would have
been-
been a boring
You
hunting
just needed
show.
a target.
Oh, I was hot. And then Michelle always tries to defend everybody, and that really pisses me off. I'm
Yeah.
like, you ever gonna be on my side one time?
No.
You know, ever.
Mine never is.
Oh,
Maybe in private.
I don't
like-
even know I'm proud of she as much.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks. God
appreciate
bless
it.
y'all. Peace out. Have a good day. Bye.
Love you, bye. Watch for deer.